time. This is Up Fanatic, and we got some issues today. We may have some breaking news. Ladies and gentlemen, Philadelphia will lament the fact that the Tush Push may die a death today. We might have a black armband the rest of the week, Bill. The Tush Push could no longer be, or it could be saved. I mean, who knows? The way the politics are going on this right now, you got one lobby group with the Goodell group trying to get it banned, and you got the Eagles lobbying, and whoever Jeffrey Lurie is closest to in the ownership. So I don't know how it's going to go. It looks like if you listen to Adam Schefter, it's probably going to go, and then Philadelphia will have another reason to say the world's picking on us. So that'll be it today, and we're also going to revisit. Oh man, I tell you, I was inspired listening to Nick Sirianni. I was inspired.
I don't like the sarcasm already.
No. I was inspired by Nick Sirianni. We got so many sound bites that are lengthy, where he really pours his heart into it. Right? Can we start, Ray? This is Bill Colarulo. It's Ray Dunn, by the way. Can we just start with the Sirianni and his family love the city of Philadelphia? That'd be Sirianni too. We just want to kick it off with this one here.
We love this city. I know how happy I am in being able to come into this office every day and work for Mr. Lurie and work alongside Howie and with all the great players we have. And my wife loves this city. My kids love this city, and we're sure glad that it will be our home for the foreseeable future.
Smoochie. Now, we don't know how long he's going to be here because apparently the terms of this contract are being reluctant to be released. I don't know what that's about. I heard Schefter say that they don't want the years out there for whatever reason because it looks like maybe they're not long years. I mean, Bill, can you make any sense out of why we have not heard the terms of this, where we usually hear the terms of every other coach?
Yeah, it is interesting that they don't want the terms out. I mean, that's what Schefter said on the morning show this morning, is that they don't want the length of the contract released for whatever reason. I don't know what it could be. Is it because I heard John and Andrew kind of theorizing, well, is it because it wasn't that long of an extension? Is it only a couple of year extension? And would people now be counting down the time where Sirianni's contract's out? I don't know why they wouldn't want to just give him a 4-year extension and make it a 5-year deal. I mean, that's what you gave him when he came in as an unknown. Why wouldn't you give him 5 years now when he's a Super Bowl winning coach? But yeah, little butt kissing in that little statement right there.
You heard the last of it.
But he should be.
Can we do this one? Apparently, he should have done this before because maybe he got a longer extension. But let's play Nick Sirianni 1 here, Ray, and wait for the smooches.
Yeah, just obviously very thankful to Mr. Lurie for believing in me to hire me 4 years ago, and then to continue. That I'm able to continue being the head football coach of this team, and just can't thank him and the organization and Howie enough for everything. And man, there's so many. What a great owner! What a great owner we have, and like I said, it can't be more thankful. My family's thankful. I'm thankful, and I love being the coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, and looking forward to continuing on.
Everything. The waters are so peaceful. It's like a Zen fountain.
A little bit of pandering in there, but at the same time, if the guy just gave you close to $20 million a year, I think a little butt kissing may be required at that point.
Sure.
He just gave you a lot of money.
But what did he give him? This is what I want to know. Where does he rank now at the highest paid coaches in the league? The man's won a Super Bowl. He's been to another one. Is he in that upper echelon? How many years do we have to be comforted here with Sirianni as your head coach? What is going on with this?
Yeah, I don't know why they don't. I'm sure they have the reasoning for not wanting it public. It does seem a little bit strange that you want, like Jeffrey Lurie, I would think, would want the world to know we take care of our own when they're successful. Mm-hmm. We just made him one of the highest paid coaches in the NFL. We just committed to him for the next 4 or 5 years. Like, why would you not want that information public? I just don't understand why you wouldn't put it out there. Some of the theories I was reading last night, though, were also NFL head coaching salaries have not grown the way players' salaries have. And that's because it's kind of an unsaid collusion between the owners. They're not going to overpay coaches. They're not going to give the coaches – there's no salary cap. So you could think a coach could demand anything they wanted, and you almost would have you would have the owners in a tough spot. So is that why they wouldn't want it public? I don't know.
Well, once $20 million is public for a coach, I mean, my God, you can't run from that.
Yeah, Andy makes 20.
Exactly.
So it'll be interesting. But look, when he said thank you to Jeffrey, and I have been one of the biggest defenders of Sirianni. Anyone who listens to the show knows.
Mr. Lurie, he said.
However, he's not wrong, as I like to say. I mean, you look at what Jeffrey Lurie has given Nick Sirianni since he's been here. He gives him all of the resources he needs. He has a great general manager in place. Howie Roseman's done a great job. They don't get cheap when it comes to hiring assistant coaches. They went out and they got Vic Fangio. They went out and they got Kellen Moore. They are willing to pay big signing bonuses to contracts so that they could stay under the salary cap. Jeffrey Lurie does deserve a lot of thanks for Nick Sirianni's success. Not all of it, just like Howie Roseman doesn't deserve all of it. Nick Sirianni's a good coach, but he should be thanking the owner because it does start at the top. And we're lucky that we have Jeffrey Lurie as the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, my God, we're so lucky.
We are. I mean, you look around the NFL, there are some terribly run organizations. There's a reason why franchises will always stay in the basement because at the top, the ownership is terrible.
Okay, let me switch to the Phillies. I lasted one inning. Now, I kept going back to it. Don't get me wrong. I told you I cannot stomach a Major League Baseball team that comes off like the Bad News Bears. I am just crazy when I see a Major League level team. Look at that first inning. First inning, the pitcher doesn't cover first base. There's a throw that's offline that should have had Harper by 20 feet. It's just ridiculous the way that baseball team plays, that Colorado Rockies team. I can't even watch it. A pitcher with an 8 ERA who's well, are you kidding me?
How
could you be that bad?
They're terrible, dude.
In the first inning, I go, I've had enough.
They are terrible. Look, the good news is, well, not for you because you don't like watching it, but the good news is it's a 4-game series. I mean, the Phils should take all 4. You shouldn't lose a game to this team. They're an absolute terrible team. But maybe this look, the team is feeling good about themselves. They've won, I think, 5 straight now. We've talked about how many series they've won. But now everybody's starting to get into the mix. Bryce Harper, he's batting .272 all of a sudden. Just like that. Brandon Marsh is starting to hit the ball well. I mean, maybe you need these bad teams on your schedule to really get everybody going.
Certainly you need those bad teams to pad it up a little bit. I just can't. I just don't understand how you can own a team and run it down that poorly, that bad, where they're just a joke in the industry. I just don't get it.
Yeah, 8-40. I mean, that's just, how's that even possible?
I mean, good Lord. All right, it's General Knowledge Wednesday today. Now, we have a pretty good prize here for General Knowledge Wednesday today. So we need a lot of participation as we go through all these Sirianni quotes. I can't get enough the Sirianni thing, by the way. But today's prize is a pair of Maury's Piers same-day ride and water park combo tickets. So, Bill, explain what that is. The combo tickets.
The combo tickets, well, it allows you to get unlimited rides.
All over.
At all of their piers.
All the piers.
And go to the water park in the same day. I mean, it really is awesome. I'm trying to win this prize.
Yeah, Fanatic Deal of the Week. It's also our Fanatic Deal of the Week. So you get a same-day ride and water park ticket to Maury's Piers for just $70. But you'll get it free today if you qualify with the General Knowledge Wednesday.
Yeah, how many are we giving away today?
We're giving away a pair of tickets. One pair of tickets.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, like, Ray Dunn, if he had a date to go down to the Wildwood Boardwalk all day, taking her on the rides, going to the water park, showing off the body a little bit, Ray?
This is a $270 prize, by the way. You know that?
Yeah, it's expensive, man.
Yeah, $270 prize. So, General Knowledge Wednesday today, you can score big if you're headed down the shore this summer.
They got to beat Ray, right? That's the rule.
It is beat Ray. 610-632-0975. We'll give you the categories after this on the Mike Missanelli Show on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Jaylen Herz.
First and foremost.
Show. We got this drama with the Tush Push today. You won't want to miss any minute of this show today because we'll have the final announcement on what they decide to do. Now, Bill, you have some news here involving Jason Kelce.
Correct. So Kelce said it on his podcast, but Adam Schefter just reported as well that Jason Kelce has been flown to Minnesota to meet with the owners today to lobby on behalf of the Eagles as to why they should keep the Tush Push play. So Kelce's there to answer questions about it. Apparently, I think there were some misconceptions that, because remember Kelce had talked about the Tush Push and said that he hated it. Remember because it was on the bottom and all.
Right.
So I think people were confused that maybe he got hurt and all this other stuff. So he's going to answer questions about why it should stay. I don't know if that'll sway people's opinion or not. I think every owner that's walking into that room already has their mind made up. And one of the things that I thought was crazy when Schefter says this morning that there's a lot of bartering going on here where Roger Goodell may be going to these owners who voted no last time and saying, hey, listen, you ban it. Maybe we'll give you the draft. You ban it. Maybe we'll help you with that stadium fund.
Quid pro quo that goes on here.
That's ridiculous.
Like a politician. You vote for this bill, I'll make sure the next time the round of funding for municipalities get through. You know what I'm saying?
I'm very surprised at that type of stuff. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised that goes on, but to get a play banned, that's wild to me. So you're telling me a team will get the draft because they voted to ban a Tush Push?
Yeah.
That doesn't bother you at all?
No, because you know how I feel about the Tush Push.
Yeah, you hate the Tush Push.
Yeah, I just,
people are starting to worry about you, though, because you're rooting for the Knicks. You want the Tush Push ban.
Am I rooting for the Knicks against the Sixers? Oh, like what?
I don't know.
What are people?
Would you?
Like, what the hell's wrong with you people? There's Sixers on in the playoffs. I'm not rooting for the Knicks over the Sixers. I'm rooting for the Knicks over the Indiana. I have no connection to the Indiana Pacers. Why would I root for the Indiana Pacers? I got 3 Villanova guys on the Knicks, and they play great basketball together.
T.J. McConnell, dude.
Oh, stop. Yeah, there's a story about T.J. McConnell. I'm sure Ray's going to try to bite my rear end with it a little later in the show.
It was funny because he put on the show sheet a story for Mike.
Yeah, a story for
Mike. I knew it. I knew it was about T.J.
Listen, I don't hate T.J. McConnell. I hate the fact that he's a white guy who can't shoot. That's what I hate about it.
Yeah, you've been very consistent with
Seriously. All right, but to get me pumped up for this whole show, Ray, I got to hear a little Jaylen Herz because there's a notion that for the first time he went to the other side to praise his head coach, which he really has been reluctant to do. So let's hear Jaylen talk about the evolution of Sirriani as a coach and their ongoing relationship, and listen closely.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations to him. Everything that he's been able to achieve and accomplish, he's earned, and just to see his evolution and his growth from my perspective and playing quarterback for him, his whole entire tenure here, it's been a great experience, been a great ride. It's been a lot of learning for the both of us, and hopefully we're just getting started.
All right, there you go. Did that make you feel good, Bill? Did it make you feel a little gooey inside?
Yeah, I'm hopeful that this Jalen Nick drama that people talked about for the last 2 years can just be put to bed at this point.
Did he extend an olive branch with that comment? Was that a true olive branch, or was it like a magnolia branch?
Magnolia branch. A cherry blossom. I think that, look, I think when you win a Super Bowl together, it doesn't matter whether you like each other personally as friends. There's going to be a mutual respect, and I think it's there. Look, last season, all that was probably put to bed throughout the year. I know last offseason, when he gets asked about Sirriani, he has that weird response, and then it left us all hanging all summer long. Like, do they not get along? But I think
Jaylen Herz is a very serious man, and I think he looks at Nick Sirianni as kind of a goof, a successful goof, but somebody with a goof personality, sort of, and Jalen's the opposite. And that's the reason why I think they will never bond.
Yeah, they probably have different personalities, and Jaylen probably, having played for guys like Nick Saban, doesn't view Sirianni as the type of coach that he would have expected in the NFL. But when you listen to other players like A.J. Brown and Mailata yesterday, I know we have that soundbite you may play coming up, but like Mailata, what an endorsement of Nick Sirianni and the culture that he brings. So, look, I don't think it's ever going to be an issue. You just won a Super Bowl when everyone thought that Hertz and Sirianni didn't get along. So I'm not worried about it.
All right. As we go into the break, Ray, you know I got to hear Jaylen Herz. It just pumps me up all the time. Jaylen Herz, number 9. I can't do without it.
The main thing is always the main thing.
Oh, yeah.
So that was...
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Keep going, because he'll go main thing to main thing later. There we go.
Whether we plan to February or not, and so you set goals to try and accomplish those things in that moment and in that month. Ultimately, the process is always ongoing. It's always, how can I get better? How can I improve? And carry it out. So I'm really excited about that. It's been exciting just to be here and be able to spend time with the coaches and get some timing down and get some reps and get some things under our wings so we can just continue to build, that type of rapport we need and figure out what the iteration of this team will be this season.
There it is. The iteration and the main thing.
The iteration. Well, that was in response to a question because they were asking him about everything he had to deal with this offseason with like Time Magazine.
You don't deal with anything. You keep the main thing
the
main
Met Gala
thing. It's what you do.
Keep the main thing the main thing.
That's correct. 610-632-0975 is how you get in on a General Knowledge Wednesday with a big prize at stake. I expect you to come up big today, audience. Over Ray, the Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Talking extension, I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. A.J. Brown, Jordan Mailata, Jaylen Herz, and Nick Sirianni all met with the media yesterday following news of Sirianni receiving a contract extension earlier this week. We still don't know the details of this contract, but wide receiver A.J. Brown made it known he's here so long as his coach is.
I told I literally texted Nick last night, told him congrats. I told him I'm done when he's done. I don't know how long his extension is, but but he was like, of course.
Brown and Jordan Mailata also made it known they're not concerned about the potential tush-push ban, which could be coming from the owners' meetings today in Minneapolis. Reportedly, former center Jason Kelce is out there at the meetings trying to lobby support to keep the play. We'll keep you updated with whatever happens with the tush-push ban, whether or not it is approved. In Colorado last night, the Phillies won 7-4 over the Rockies. Kyle Schwarber homered again. Jesus Luzardo was once again dominant in the win. Tonight, it's Taijuan Walker getting the start at 8:40 for the first-place Phillies as they look to win their 6th game in a row. This update is brought to you by WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, your personal messages stay private because your personal messages are yours. No one else can see or hear them, not even WhatsApp. WhatsApp, message privately with everyone. I'm Ray Dunn in your home for NBA playoff action, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The Fanatic is reading an interesting story on Sirianni. Kind of a psychoanalysis of the man. I guess it was by David Murphy, columnist. And this is for Bill. I just want to read this for Bill, right? The true portrait of Sirianni is there if you know where to look. Now, Bill has known where to look for a long time. He goes on to write, like anybody who thrives, he has his flaws. The difference between good eggs and the bad eggs is the nature that spawns them. Now, I don't even know what the hell that means, but I'll carry on. The thing about Sirianni's boisterousness, his clumsiness, his emotion, is that they come from a good place. It's a combination of competitiveness, of sincerity, and of a steadfast belief in his ability as a coach. It is difficult to dislike a person who means well, works hard, and gets results. A lot of people dislike him still.
Yeah, they do. They do dislike him, but I think, and I've said this before when it comes to his players, and I think that's what he's touching on there, it's authenticity. He's not being someone that he's not. He's not pretending to be anybody, and I think that's what NFL players want. They just want you to be who you truly are, and it is from a good place. When we've read stories before, I remember Tim McManus did a piece during the season about how Sirianni goes out of his way to connect with certain players on a personal level. Asked them how their family member who's battling cancer is doing, or congratulates them on things that happen in their personal lives. That's all genuine, I think. I think Sirianni's probably deep down a good dude. And when you're a good dude and your players know that, I think you can get away with being a little bit of a, as you like to call it, goof.
Hell yeah.
Good one, Ray.
Well,
good
I mean,
time.
that's. Can we go back in time? It was the notion that the first time that we looked at him, like what? We went what?
Yeah, it was.
You know,
he has a funny way of describing him.
Then he went with the rock paper scissors, and then he went with the planning, and
weren't they playing?
We all fertilize.
Weren't they also playing at the draft combine? He had guys doing little basketball hoop he brought with him. You remember that thing?
Yeah. You can tell a lot about a guy's competitiveness by rock paper scissors.
Dog mentality.
Let me say it, Mike. Rock. You can't. Mike delayed it.
Scissors.
No, it was a bad first press conference.
All right. Well, anyway, let's get to the phones because Greg from Bethlehem is going to be our leadoff hitter today. Greg, you are on 97.5 The Fanatic. How you doing, Greggy? Greg? Hello.
Hey, I'm here.
Hello. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead, Greg.
I'm sorry. Do you think reading between the tea leaves on Sirianni that they only extended him for 2 years because of the fact that, he's
and we don't know it's
hybrid.
only 2 years. Like that, where people are assuming that maybe they didn't want the terms out because it wasn't a 4 or 5 year extension. But we don't know. I mean, this is a conspiracy theory. This is our tinfoil hats are on.
Well, I agree. If you were going to give the guy 4 or 5 years, why wouldn't you announce that? If I were the Eagles, I'd still have some questions about the emotional intelligence that Sirianni has shown in the past that he's managed to.
Do you think they would be reluctant to commit to him for a longer term?
Well, I mean, if it's a short-term deal, like 2 years, then I think I don't know what other explanation there is.
That they're just unsure of him still. Very interesting.
Well,
no, you're right. You raised a good point here, Greg. If they really wanted to make a statement, they go, this is our coach. We believed in him from the jump. He delivered. So, boom, here's 4 years extension.
Well, exactly. And I think somebody who's capable of some of the antics that he had early in the season means that that's under the surface somewhere. And I'm not sure that they're comfortable that it's not going to resurface.
Oh, maybe here's the other part of it. Maybe they know that the price for a coach is going way up, and if they extend it for 4 years, they're on the hook for almost $100 million.
Yeah, well, I think that's true, and I think if they knew if Sirriani was more like Andy Reid, for instance, just to pick a guy who I respect more than Sirianni, I think if he performed that way, I don't think they would have hesitated so much. But I mean, here's a guy that's really supposedly not calling plays. I mean, too much. And when he was calling them, they weren't doing well. And he's had these outbursts. So, there's a couple of red flags there, even though he's managed to.
Yeah, I don't know. If I'm his agent, I go, stick a red flag in your keister. My guy took you to a Super Bowl and won another one. They don't give me that rot. That's the way I look at it. Let's do general knowledge with you, Greg.
All
right, Greg. This is easy general knowledge, the easy general knowledge category. The drummer of the Beatles that was hired in 1962 was named Ringo Starr. What is his real name? His son actually has been in the news lately.
Boy. Honestly, I have no way to know.
Man. All right, his son's name's... All right, sorry about that. Yeah, you're out. His son's name is Zach Starkey, who's been fired twice now from The Who. He was drumming for The Who, has been fired twice. So what was Ringo's name?
I wouldn't know it.
Really?
I wouldn't know it. Ray, would you know this?
Nope. Took a class in college on the Beatles and still don't know this.
Richard Starkey.
Okay. I guess Richard is... Ringo would be a better nickname for Richard than what most Richards go by as their nickname.
Ringo Starr. Also,
what if we would
names?
What if we would have gone by Dick Starr? Do you think he would have had the same success?
No, but he was named Ringo because he wore a lot of rings.
Oh, deep.
He wore rings on almost every finger. That's why he was named Ringo.
And he could still drum with all the rings. Impressive.
Yeah, he could still drum. He wasn't the greatest drummer, but it was fit them. Okay, Ray. Which Great Lake shares its name with a U.S. state?
Lake Michigan.
So simple.
That was a lot easier
than simple.
Richard Starr.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Well, good job, Ray.
Ray takes the lead over the audience 1-0. Audience, you're going to let him get away with this. Come on.
How many Great Lakes are there?
5, aren't there? 5.
Can you name them all?
Ontario, Michigan, Erie.
Huron, right?
Huron. Yeah, that's right, Huron.
Superior?
And Superior.
I think we got them all.
Nice job.
There we go. Bonus point for Ray.
Yeah, because I helped.
On us here. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Connor Thomas.
People who like to go down the Memorial Day to the shore. It's going to be a little chilly, though.
Yeah, I'm heading down, but a little chilly this weekend.
A little chilly. You heading down there?
Yeah, I'll go down Friday after
Yeah?
the show.
Have a drink?
You going to be down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll shoot you a text. Ray, you going to get jealous if me and Mike are hanging out without you?
Maybe you can come to the casa and make a little dinner.
Yeah, I'm going to be down Friday. I'll probably come back Sunday
I mean,
night.
you bridging the baby.
All right, we may hold you to this.
And the kids. You with the kids?
I don't have the two
Oh, you
older
don't have
ones
the
this
kids?
weekend. Not this weekend.
Get the father-in-law? You want to bring him down?
Father-in-law, mother-in-law,
You can do some work around my house.
brother-in-law.
I need a window replaced.
We got the whole crew
Can he
coming.
do that?
I'm sure he could.
All right.
He's always looking for
In
something.
any event, it's a pair of Maurice Pierce same-day ride and water park combo tickets. Now, the same-day ride and water park tickets to Maurice Pierce you can get on our deal of the week for $70. But this is a $200 value. If you buy a family 4-pack of tickets, you'll save $200.
Yeah, it's the deal of the week's great, because if you don't win today, take advantage of the deal of the week.
Yeah. I got to hear more Sirriani. Ray, you've been through these sound bites. Which one would you recommend?
He also has. Were you able to get Kelsey, Ray?
I was.
Oh,
So we have Kelsey,
First of all,
too.
let's go to Kelsey because Jason Kelsey is now on the other side of this tush push. We got two issues today. One is Sirriani praise. The other is the tush push maybe going away. In which case, if it does go away, we will play Elton John's "Funeral for a Friend" a little bit later. Da, da, da. In any event, Jason Kelsey is going to Minnesota to lobby on behalf of the play. Correct, Bill?
Correct. And there were reports that Jeffrey Lurie walked into the owners' meeting for the vote with Jason Kelsey a few minutes ago.
Oh, is that right?
So this was Kelsey on his podcast, the New Heights podcast, explaining why he's going.
And the laughing there in the back is from Travis. So here we go.
Lastly, obviously, there's the tush push, which they are voting on banning. It feels like this is the most legitimate chance it's had since they've been voting on it to be banned. I'll say this. I'm actually going to Minnesota. What? So there were some things said at the last owners meeting. Some of the owners and coaches hinted that the reason I stopped playing was because of the tush push and that I got hurt on the tush push frequently.
What the f?
I'm just going to answer any questions people have about my partaking in this play. I don't care whether it gets banned or not. I think that at the end of the day, this is why you vote on things. And if they vote to ban the tush push, the Eagles are still going to run quarterback sneak at a very high percentage.
92%, exactly.
I'm just going to offer any type of if anybody has any questions about the tush push or whether I retired because of the tush push, I'll tell you this right now. I'll come out of retirement today if you tell me all I got to do is run 80 tush pushes to play in the NFL. I'll do that gladly.
Oh, these fellas have a good time, don't they?
Oh, man.
What?
Travis.
All right, let's get back to Sirianni here. Let's go with adversity. I love when he talks about adversity and how it's shaped him. So, number 4, Ray. We seem to have big problems.
Again, everybody that is striving to, reach the top of the mountain or, whatever it is, like we try to do every single year. Adversity is going to be there regardless. And I really look at any adversity that I've ever been through in my life, whether it was my leg injury in 2001, whether it was my dad going through cancer, whether it was the collapse of our us kind of falling apart at the end of the 2023 season and finishing 1-6. Every one of those things, whether it's scrutiny from, like you said, from your first press conference, I can look at the good in all those things and find good in all those things and how it's shaped me to be who I am today and has made me better as a result of it. And you never want to go through those things as you go through them. But man, if you allow it to shape you, it really does. It can shape you into be who you be better and to be who you are at this moment.
Oh man, that's inspirational.
You are so
I'm not being
sarcastic about this
sarcastic.
guy.
I am not being sarcastic. Well, that's very inspirational. To the point.
All right, I want to get your true opinion on this.
Uh huh.
You got to give the guy credit, don't you?
Giving the guy credit.
But I'm saying, when he's talking about adversity, what coach in recent memory had that much, I guess, that hot of a seat coming into a season after the collapse that he references in that clip, and then responds with winning the championship? I mean, you talk about going from one extreme to the other. There were, if we polled the city, and I'm sure we did many times leading into last season on whether or not you wanted to bring Sirriani back, it would have been a majority, probably 80-90% of people who didn't want him. And then they actually win the championship. I mean, you talk about the extremes.
You have a tendency to leave out major parts. You really do.
What am I leaving out?
Wait, what are you leaving out? Do I need to remind you they were 2-2 and two offensive linemen had to walk into his office?
They were 2-2 because Saquon drops that pass. They would have been 3-1. And the only game they would have lost, they had no AJ, no Devontae, no Lane. It was 100-something degrees down in Tampa Bay.
It doesn't really matter. They changed their whole style. He
Did
had
they
to be
really,
prompted. Yeah, right. Did they change their whole style?
That they did.
I mean,
Hold on.
Jesus.
I just want to pull this
You have
because
selective brain trauma.
Oh, I just want to take a look at something here.
You got to take a look at something. You remember
Game one against Green Bay.
Remember the bye?
Game one against Green Bay. Saquon Barkley, 24 carries. Game 2 against Atlanta, Saquon Barkley, 22 carries. Game 3 against the New Orleans Saints, 17 carries. And then in the Bucs game, when they're getting dominated, only 10 carries.
They changed their style, Bill.
Hold on.
Come on now.
After the bye, 18, 17, 22 carries. So in the 3 games after the bye, he actually had less carries than he did the first game of the season.
But the style was different. They used the quarterback differently. The
Well,
quarterback was straight throwing in the early part of the year.
They started limiting his turnovers, is what I think the major difference was. But what I'm like, that shouldn't you give him credit for that though? Like for showing a willingness to change a little bit.
Unless somebody's giving him 100% credit, you'll pick at him. Like I go, he justified his hold on the coaching reins by winning a Super Bowl. I can't deny any of that, but you leave out a part of it.
How many coaches went from hot seat to championship in 1 year like that? It's unbelievable.
But he also had to adjust in the middle of that year.
And I give him credit. It seems like you're holding that against him.
I'm not holding it against him. It's just a reality. Had he played it the way he wanted to play all year, would they have gotten to where they were?
I guess we'll never know.
610-632-0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Talking extension. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. A.J. Brown, Jordan Mailata, Jaylen Herz, and Nick Sirriani all met with the media yesterday following the news of Sirriani receiving a contract extension earlier this week. We still don't know the details of the contract, but wide receiver A.J. Brown made it known he's here so long as his coaches.
I told I literally texted Nick last night. Told him congrats. I told him I'm done when he's done. I don't know how long his extension is, but but he was like, of course.
Brown and Jordan Mailata also made it known they're not concerned about the potential Tush push ban, which could be coming in a matter of minutes, hours, at some point today, as the owner is right now meeting about that play in Minneapolis. Apparently, Jason Kelce is out there to lobby on behalf of the Tush push. We'll keep you updated with what's going on out there. In Colorado last night, the Phillies won 7-4 over the Rockies. Kyle Schwarber homered again. Jesus Luzardo once again dominated the win. Tonight, it's Taijuan Walker getting the start. 8:40 as the first place Phillies look to win their 6th game in a row. This update is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE Sedan. Hurry in now through July 31st. Learn more at mbusa.com/dream. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for NBA playoff action, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Philadelphia.
97.5 The Fanatic. It's a beautiful, murky, rainy day again today, and tomorrow will be the same thing. I need sun, man. I need sunshine.
You and me both. I'm actually getting a free night tomorrow to be able to golf, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to.
Oh, man, I got a lot of stuff to do. I got to trim trees.
Yeah, you do a lot of stuff.
I do a lot of stuff yesterday. I went home, got the ladder up there. I had to trim some trees that were growing over the fence. You know, a neighbor's tree grows over your fence. You're responsible for that.
Are you?
Yeah.
Even though it's her or his tree?
Yeah. Yeah, you can trim it if it's on your side.
Interesting.
Add it to the father-in-law's list.
Yeah, things you don't know about when it comes to homes.
That's why, honestly, we went to my wife's friend's apartment on Sunday. And I'm like, man, I miss apartment living. I really do. Apartment living's the way to go, man. You don't have to worry about anything.
Grass between your toes ever.
I don't know.
Like you played football on a beautiful green lawn, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't have any room for lawns anymore.
Nah. If I didn't have the kids, I would never have left the apartment. I loved apartment living.
You want to hear something funny? I came home from work the other day. I smell freshly cut grass. I go in the backyard. The GF's mowing the lawn.
Wow.
Huh? How about that?
Back injury and all.
And you haven't had a lawnmower handle in your hand ever.
I can't believe you forced her to mow the lawn.
I didn't force her to do anything. She enjoys it.
She does enjoy it, I guess. So the back's doing well. She's recovering from her back.
Yeah. I'm not, but she...
Yeah, I would prefer apartment living, Ray. Like, Ray's a city guy now.
Yeah.
I would stay
Ray grew up with a lawn. Right, Ray?
I did.
So did I.
At some point, I'd like to go back to that. Not anytime soon, but at some point, I'd like to go back to that.
I prefer apartment living.
Man, there's nothing like revving that engine. Pulling that chain. Come on, man.
Nice sound.
Fresh smoke.
That was a pretty good lawnmower
Short
sound.
and gray.
Didn't that sound pretty real?
It's a guy that enjoys it right there. He dreams about it, thinks about it.
Yeah, pretty good.
Come on, man. You go over those little branches that fall down, cracks them right up.
Yeah. Give me concrete. Give me the stone that we got there, like at the shore houses. I like that better. No grass. You got grass at your shore house?
No.
Yeah, it's all stone, right? And stuff like that?
Yeah, I used to. But I had, I redid the backyard. I put a bocce court back there. Probably it was the bocce court's too small, so it's never used.
Don't say bocce in front of Ben Davis. Did you hear him on the broadcast last night?
No, what did he say?
He thought they were going for hibachi. Did you hear that on the broadcast last night?
He said what?
Ben Davis, I guess when they're out in Colorado, they got invited to a bocce court.
Yeah.
He heard hibachi. He thought they were going to eat hibachi.
He said he's a Metagon. He never heard of bocce. All right, let's go to Darren in Phoenixville. Darren, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, what's going on, Mike?
What's up, Darren? How you doing?
Good. I didn't get a chance to call yesterday. I wanted to wish you guys all the best for the 200 shows.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that, Darren. It's nice to have you, and thanks for being a loyal listener and caller.
Yeah, man. You guys gotta keep it going. One thing I forgot after I did my screening, you guys, the one time you guys were talking about, I guess you were getting on Bill about the banana peels and the apples. And
yeah, you throw a banana peel out the window, you're on the highway. I mean, come on.
It's biodegradable.
That guy's a barbarian. I don't understand it.
So you guys don't know this, but I'm on the road all the time. So like, and my uncle did tell me at one point that you're supposed, not that you're supposed to, but what does that mean? Like it like goes into the earth or something when you throw the bananas?
It's biodegradable, but it'll take weeks to biodegrade. Banana peel. It's just litter at that point.
Yeah. But yesterday I was at the Exxon. I said, let me throw my banana peel in the trash.
Good for you.
Wow.
Here's what, when I'm eating a banana peel in the car, I put the peel down on the ground, and then when I stop the car, wherever I am, I take the freaking banana peel and put it in a trash receptacle. So is it that difficult?
Darren, I was just going to try to prove Mike wrong when he said it takes a couple of weeks for the banana peel to biodegrade. I just looked it up. up to 2 years to biodegrade.
See, there you go.
So I may be changing my opinion on this.
There you go.
Don't throw your banana peels out the window. 2 years, Ray.
2 years.
Who could have seen that coming?
What's up, Paul and Sirriani, Darren?
No, I think it was well worth it, man. Giving him the extension. I mean, he got us the Super Bowl. He got us there the second year. So I think it was well worth it.
All right. Listen, Darren, it's General Knowledge Wednesday time for you. The category is, who did that 1990s song? No, in 1992, the song is Jump Around.
Oh, House of Pain.
That's correct. House of Pain is correct. So, Darren, you hold on a second. We'll put you on hold there. Darren is our qualifier, and the audience gets 1 point. Could be trouble for Ray. What happened to my scorecard?
I think Ray's going to struggle with 90 songs.
Ray is going to struggle. But, Ray, here we go.
Oh, why don't you tell us who we're listening to before?
Oh, you're listening to 97.5, The Fanatic, WPN, HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. Ray, who did this 1990s hit song? 1997, My Heart Will Go On.
Celine Dion.
Wow!
Oh, that was a Mrs. Dunn favorite in the Dunn household, I think.
Isn't that the Titanic song?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Wait, when were you born?
2000.
Oh, no, so it wasn't. See, I like those types of songs would have been played around the house by my mom. You know, that's why I'm thinking.
No.
My Heart Will Go On.
No,
My Heart Will Go On.
Wait, now you've seen the Titanic?
Yes.
Oh, my God, Ray. So you've seen the Titanic, but none of these other great movies we tell you to see.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to give you the categories.
Yeah, so we got, I'm piecing it together. 90s music, easy general knowledge.
Easy general knowledge. In honor of you, thinking that Charlotte, North Carolina was actually on the coast of South Carolina, geography, 5-letter geography.
Ooh.
So every answer will be 5 letters on the geography question. And by special request, if you want this category, the category is WWE WrestleMania main eventers.
Oh! What made you pull that one out?
I pulled that one out, and the way I'm going to do it, I think, is give you the main eventers, but ask you who won.
Okay. So you got a 50% chance.
You got a 50% chance if you want that category.
That's going to be easier than 90s music.
How many can you rattle off?
What, WrestleMania?
WrestleMania events.
Well, you had Hogan versus Andre the Giant.
Oh, when you going back to?
I think that may be the first one.
You're going back to...
No, that was like number 3.
No, it wasn't the first
That was
one.
number 3. The first one, there were celebrities involved in the main event.
Yes. One celebrity.
Was it Cyndi Lauper?
No.
Mr. T?
Yes. Pity the Fool.
And then there was one where Cyndi Lauper and...
But who else was in there? Hulk Hogan, Mr. T, against...
I can't remember. This is bad.
Rowdy Roddy Piper and Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff.
WrestleMania 1. Wait, WrestleMania 3 was Andre the Giant versus Hogan.
Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan was in 1987.
Then you had Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior.
You had Hogan in 1986 against somebody. Who was it? Local guy. King Kong Bundy.
Man, Hogan headlined a lot of these.
He headlined them early on, yeah.
I went to WrestleMania 15 in Philadelphia when I was in high school.
Really? What year was that?
I guess it would have been 2000?
2000.
99 or 2000.
2000. You remember who was in it?
It was The Rock versus Stone Cold.
Oh, it was The Rock versus... that was 1999.
Yeah, versus Stone Cold.
Rock and Stone Cold.
And I think Mankind was the referee.
Oh, is that right? Mankind was the referee. All right, we'll just do one more. In the year 2000, some monster stars. 4 people in the main event.
Well, if it was 2000, I would think The Rock and Stone Cold are probably involved.
Nope.
Was Mankind involved?
Nope. Oh, yes, he was. Mick Foley was involved. Mick Foley was involved.
Undertaker?
Nope.
I don't remember that.
The Big Show.
Oh, where?
There you go.
It's the Big
The Rock and Triple H making his debut.
Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
How about this, Ray? WWE.
I used to be.
We're getting all fuzzy. It's going to be in Westchester. B, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, B?
Yeah, what's up, Mikey Miss?
How you doing, buddy?
Congrats on the 200 show. I just got to say, as a longtime fan, with Mike Missanelli's on the sports radio airwaves in Philadelphia, all is well in the world.
Oh, man, you
Glad to
flatter
have
me
back
so,
at
B.
200.
You flatter me so. Thank you. Thank you. That's kind of.
Keeping it 100, as the kids say. But on the Sirriani thing, like, I don't understand the argument. Are we saying that he's not a good coach? Or I don't really get this whole thing about Sirriani. Like, what's the question here?
I don't know. That's why I asked yesterday. We asked people what would make you be reluctant, because he's not universally accepted with glee. You feel that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't even think, like, if you picture Sirianni as the head coach for, like, the Cleveland Browns or, like, an organization like that, I mean, I'm sure it would be an absolute disaster. And I don't credit him for winning the Super Bowl or even elevating the team to win the Super Bowl. I don't think it's because of him. I think it has more to do with, when the antics were going on early in the season last year, the goofiness, the shaved head, the kids at the press conference, and whatever was going on there, somebody from up above got to him, pulled him aside, whatever it was, and said, look, we got to calm this down. And then he stayed out of the way.
I agree. I think you got it right. Bill doesn't include that in the equation.
Yeah, well, the Sirianni love, and look, I don't think he's a bad coach, because I think staying out of the way, reading the room, I think the Eagles, it's more of like an organizational approach, and that's why I credit Jeffrey Lurie, and I think he's scarred from the Chip Kelly experience and things like that. I think they just have more of this top-down approach, which is why Doug didn't last, because I think when Doug started to push back, that's why he was canned after winning a Super Bowl. And I just think it's more of, he got out of the way, and like any professional, listen, the guy's getting paid a lot more money than I'll probably ever get paid at a job. So I can't hate on the guy for it. I do think some of the antics are annoying, and I don't need it. I don't need the mean mugging and all that. But I'm fond of him as a coach, and I'm glad he got his extension.
Yeah, I am too. And B, I like the way you look at it that way, because you're not going overboard by saying he's the genius, but you're saying the organizational approach works with him there.
Yeah, I mean, come on. The Vic Fangio, I would credit more to Saquon, what they were doing on offense, the weapons they have on offense, the way the defense improved, and just to segue real quick on the Tush push, I kind of hope it gets banned, because I work with people that are in other parts of the country, and we get to talking about football, even like the casual football fan, this Tush push thing always comes up, and there's everyone hates on it. I don't even think the success in the short yardage is because of the Tush push. How come no one talks about the fact that this offensive line, aren't like 3 of the 5 offensive linemen like consistently all pro on the Eagles?
Yeah.
Like, I still think they're going to have success in short yardage. Just ban it so I don't have to hear the table.
I got you. All right, B, it's a general knowledge question for you. This is 5-letter geography, so the answer has to have only 5 letters in it. B, give me one of the 4 countries of the UK.
UK, it's got to have 4 letters?
5 letters.
5 letters. Wales?
Correct. Big. That was a big hit by B. Wales is correct. The audience ties Ray. What are the other 3? Bill?
Couldn't tell you.
What? Come on, Mr. Geography.
They all have 5 letters?
No. They don't all have 5 letters. That's the only one with 5 letters.
Of the United Kingdom?
United Kingdom.
England?
Yeah.
Ireland?
Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland. And there's one more.
Yes. It should be easy for you, bro. Ray? in the north.
I'm sorry. I'm too busy being offended for my people that you thought Ireland was a part of the United Kingdom.
Well, I said it is Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland, not Ireland. Come on.
What's the third?
Northern. They have a lot of sheep up there.
What's the other one?
Unbelievable.
Come on,
England,
man.
Northern Ireland.
Jesus. Scotland. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Philadelphia Union Soccer.
Breaking news of the great testimony of one Jeffrey Lurie at the owners' meetings, making an impassioned plea to keep the tush push in front of his brethren. Brill, can you
Yes.
Can you add some light on this?
So, per Diana Rossini, Lurie just sat down. This is 15 minutes ago. Lurie just sat down after a speech that lasted over a half an hour, then giving way to Jason Kelce, who will now talk about the safety of the play per sources. And then she goes on to quote, and it says, whoever votes to ban this play is taking liability for putting risks on our quarterbacks. Because if you remember back in May at the owners' meeting, he was quoted as saying, it's the safest play in the history of the game. So I don't know.
Come on, man. Now we're going to put the risk on the quarterbacks. We're doing quarterback sneaks for how many years?
Oh, when I say back in May, I guess that's now.
No, nobody's going to do the quarterback.
Wait, when was the last owners' meeting?
March.
Yeah. So he said it's the safest play in the history of the game, is what part of his.
How does he come up with that?
Well, I guess there's no data to show that there's been any injuries.
Okay.
Technically, he's got you there.
Right?
Every other play's had an injury.
Oh, my God. Are there many injuries with quarterback sneaks? I can't really remember injuries to the quarterback. All I do is plunge it in there, and there's weight on top of them.
I feel where a majority of the injuries occur in the NFL, when you're talking about hand injuries, it's high-speed impacts. Mm-hmm. You're not getting that with the tush push because everybody's so close together, and you're just getting pushing back and forth. Like, there's not these high-velocity impacts to the head. I don't know. Look, the bottom line is Goodell doesn't like the way it looks. This doesn't have anything to do with safety.
And I agree with
They don't like the way it
with the
looks.
astute commissioner. Commissioner's ahead of his time.
I'll tell you, though.
He's a total empty suit, but I agree with him on this.
But with Lori standing up and giving a 30-minute speech about this,
yes.
and we know the Eagles have been lobbying to try to keep it. They've been calling their contacts around the league.
And who's he bringing for the kill? After his speech, who's he bringing?
Jason Kelce.
He introduces Jason Kelce.
I wonder if maybe it stays. I don't know. I thought it was a definitive done because Goodell wants it out. But who knows, man?
You know, I actually think Lori did himself worse. Because
By defending it?
the owners are going to go, hey, this is so self-serving, this speech. Because it's their play and we're taking it away from them. I think they would go the opposite way to vote now.
Maybe. It depends on what he said. Like the thing I said yesterday was I just think it's creating a dangerous precedent.
Right. Does this help, Jeffrey?
I don't think it hurts him the way you're saying it because it's self-serving for the teams that are voting against it because they haven't figured out how to do it.
Yeah, but they don't want to do it. They're programmed already to take it out.
But that's serving themselves.
And the reason why they're taking it out probably is because they're jealous of the Eagles to do it. So he's reinforcing the fact that you guys are jealous.
Yeah. So maybe look in a mirror. Why are you jealous?
Yeah, look in the mirror. Those rich guys look in the mirror. They're going, yeah, screw you. Now I'm voting against it.
I mean, I think they were going to vote against it anyways. It seemed like until today, it felt like we were entirely going to a world where the tush push is banned. And I do think that we're giving ourselves a little false sense of hope with the whole, Kelsey's there, they're giving a speech. I have a feeling that by the time we get off the air today, the tush push is done forever.
All right, well, we will see.
That was my gut, too.
And we will have to lament it. We'll get all the Eagle fans in there that have been cultivated by the morning show to come out. They're picking on Philly.
Look, I had the same feeling that Ray had, that it was going to get banned. But when you think about it, 8 more votes is a lot. Like, if it was a true 16-16 vote back in March, for them to get 8 more owners to come to Goodell's side here, that's a lot of promising that needs to be done. It's a lot of drafts. It's a lot of new stadium money.
He's willing to put up with that. If he's throwing it out there to those people, he knows he owes 8 favors.
And there was a report this morning he's getting a contract extension, right?
Who got a contract? Goodell is?
Goodell, I believe, is going to get a contract extension. That was something that I think they're going to work through today. I thought I saw that this morning.
All right. Ray, can I hear a little more Sirriani? I need this periodically today to make myself feel warm and fuzzy. So, Sirriani 3, time and hard work take precedent.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, you're learning that can go on. That question I could answer that for a long time. You learn every single day. You're constantly trying to grow every single day, and you know, I think the main things, and not that you learn it on this job, but the main things that anytime someone asks me about, you know, what does it take to be successful or this and that, it feels like the common theme that I always come back to is you have to work your butt off. You have to work insanely hard, work harder and put in hours and put in time more than you ever thought you had to, and then you have to be able to embrace adversity. And I think, you know, because adversity's it's coming, and so what I think you learn, not that I learned that on this job, but it's cemented even more and more every day I go through that. And so those are the keys in my mind.
Oh, man, I thought sure he was going to drop a brother reference or a father reference there. He didn't.
Yeah.
Right. Did he do that at all?
Yeah, did we get any,
We get any
I don't
brother
think we got
references?
any
Sirianni family love?
I don't remember any family love that happened in there, which is weird.
Huh. I mean, he did reference that his wife and kids love growing up in this city.
He referenced his father going through cancer when he talks about adversity.
He did reference that.
But not his brothers. Very unusual. Well, we got to keep figuring this out, Rick. There's so many more sound bites that I love.
It's a monster raise, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's making $7 million to start for those 4 years, and now
Was he making that much?
he was making $7 a year. His 5-year deal was $7 a year.
Bless him, man.
But now he's over double, probably.
Nick Sirianni, who would have thunk a guy like Nick Sirianni would be able to make $20 million
A year.
a year as a head football coach
So much good.
when he was at Mount Union, schlepping passes.
Division III, baby.
6. There you go. That's what the kindredship is. That's what it is, right? It just was revealed. The Division III Connect.
Bill is not far off of being a head coach in Bill's
6-1.
mind.
Maybe I could make 20 a year as a head coach.
632-0975 is how you get in the Mike Missanelli Show.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Talking extension, I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. A.J. Brown, Jordan Mailata, Jaylen Herz, and Nick Sirianni all met with the media yesterday following the news of Sirianni receiving a contract extension earlier this week. We still don't know the details of the contract, but A.J. Brown made it known he's here so long as his coaches.
I told I literally texted Nick last night. Told him congrats. I told him I'm done when he's done. I don't know how long his extension is, but but he was like, of course.
Brown and Jordan Mailata also made it known that they are not concerned about the potential Tush push ban, which could be coming today from the owners' meetings in Minneapolis. Apparently, Jeffrey Lurie giving a 30-minute speech to defend the Tush push. Jason Kelce also tagged in to talk about what they need to do to keep the Tush push. We'll let you know whether or not they are successful in lobbying to keep that Tush push in the NFL. In Colorado last night, the Phillies won 7-4 over the Rockies. Kyle Schwarber homered again. Jesus Luzardo looked good again. Tonight, it's Taijuan Walker getting the start at 8:40 as the first place Phillies look to win their 6th game in a row. This update's brought to you by WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, your personal messages stay private because your personal messages are yours. No one else can see or hear them, not even WhatsApp. WhatsApp, message privately with everyone. I'm Ray Dunn in your home for NBA playoff action, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
So one of the other things that apparently is getting turned down is the reseeding of the playoffs, which I thought was a really good idea, Bill.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it, to be honest with you.
Why not?
I think that there should be an advantage when you win your division, especially because of the way the current schedule's set up, where you play your division opponents twice every single season. If you're going to make it where division winners would still make the playoffs, but if you're going to reseed just based off a record, then I think you got to change up the way you have your schedule. Because it wouldn't necessarily be fair that certain teams would play
a tougher schedule
in their division.
You sure that's the result of a bad regular season record to win a division? Or is it just a reflection that they're mediocre?
It could be. I mean, look, I like the way the NFL's playoff seeding works right now. But I understand people, like you look at the Vikings last year, would they win 14 games and they went on the road to start the playoffs? It was something crazy like that. And then you got teams in the NFC South who get to host even though they may be 9-8 or whatever it is. From what I read this morning, they pulled the vote because they knew it wouldn't pass, and that they're probably going to reconvene on that topic once they go to an 18-game schedule because they could modify the schedule a little bit to make it a little bit maybe more fair. More fair or fairer?
Fairer.
You sure about that?
You're going to check my work again, so whether I say, yeah, I'm sure about it or not, you're going to check it.
But, like, let's play this through because you say you like it. Eagles win the NFC East. But they win the NFC East with an 11-6 record. Vikings come in second in the NFC North, but they're 12-5. You think the Eagles should have to go to Minnesota? Because that's in essence what the proposal would be.
For a second round game?
Whenever the Vikings would, if you had to play the Vikings.
They would play them deep into the playoffs, wouldn't they?
Whenever it would be. I mean, there's a chance, let's say the Vikings.
They play them deep, yeah, they'd have to go to Minnesota.
So the Vikings are 12-5, Eagles are 11-6. Eagles won their division, Vikings didn't. You'd have to go on the road to play the Vikings in, let's say, an NFC championship.
This is really just addressing it to the fact that a team with 7 wins or 8 wins can win their division and get in the playoffs and get a favorable seed. Because they won their division.
But isn't there a valid...
Probably not fair.
But there's something to be said for winning your division, isn't there?
Yeah, there's there. If it's a good division, yeah. Sometimes they're bad divisions.
All right, I'm just looking how it would have played out this past year. So the Eagles were 14-3. The Vikings were 14-3. I guess the Eagles would have owned the tiebreaker over them.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would have played out. Who was it that got screwed, though? It was, it was just the Vikings. Yeah, just the Vikings. Guys.
Let's move on to another subject which they wholeheartedly have approved. The players that are going to be playing in the Olympics in flag football.
32-0 the vote was.
Now, let me ask you, how is this set up? How is the game actually set up? How many players are on the field?
I think it's 5. I think it's a quarterback, or is it 6?
They're not running 7s the way you would do 7-on-7?
You know, I got to look up these rules because I know there's.
In any event, let's just go look over a couple positions. I think would you have any linemen in there?
I think there's one center.
One center
that snaps the ball.
Okay.
So you
have all skill players.
Yeah, it's all skill players. You'd have a quarterback. Yeah, 5 players on the field at a time.
5 players on the field. A quarterback, 2 wide receivers, a running back, and a center.
So that would be 6 players, though, wouldn't it?
Quarterback, 2 wide receivers, a running back.
Oh, and a center.
And a center.
Yeah, so 5 players.
Okay. Now, who are you choosing as your quarterback among Mahomes?
Lamar,
Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, who's accurate.
Lamar, no doubt.
Lamar, you go
Not
Lamar,
even close.
because he can run.
Yeah, and I think there's a rule on when you can run. But, yeah, Lamar, I would just go with the best athlete.
As running back, wouldn't you want, like, a small, fast scat back?
Yeah, you don't want Saquon. You want Jahmyr Gibbs from the Lions.
Okay, so I'm reading in The Athletic, the candidates would be Barkley, Derrick Henry, Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, all heavy-legged runners.
Now, go Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs would be the guy.
Okay, wide receiver.
Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill.
And not Lamar Chase.
Jamar Chase, too.
Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase, who said he would love to represent.
Honestly, flip a coin. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. I mean, by then, Tyreek Hill may have lost a step.
How about Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Amon-Ra's good. I still would rather take one of those other two guys, though. Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson. Hell, give me Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Lamar, and Jahmyr Gibbs.
So you're saying that would
gold medal, baby.
Gold medal. Now, on defense, what Eagle would you choose? Would you go Q?
Probably Quinyon.
You got to go Quinyon Mitchell, don't you?
Yeah, I think you'd go
as
Quinyon.
the cover corner, as one of the cover corners. Well, maybe not. There's so many other cover corners that are.
I do have to research more though about. Yeah, because is there? I guess one person rushes the quarterback is probably how it would work. And what type of player do you want rushing the quarterback? Is it a linebacker? Are you going just 5 D-backs?
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I don't know enough about the game.
I would expect you would have done research since you're Mr. Research. You haven't done that research?
Well, I will, but
all right, let's go to.
I got 3 years until the Olympics.
Let's go to the text board, right?
We have an update. We do have an update.
We have an update?
Update on the tush push from Tom Pelissero.
Okay.
The general session of the Spring League meeting has concluded without a vote on banning the tush push, but now the debate will continue in a privileged session with only owners. So I'm assuming what that means is there were other people in the room. They've all left, and now you got just all 32 owners going at it. I can't confirm or deny this, but apparently Jeffrey Lurie has Jerry Jones in some sort of headlock.
What?
I'm only kidding. I made that part up.
So you might that metaphorically.
No, so that's what's happening. Oh, and more news. Roger Goodell is present in the privileged session where his contract is also expected to be a topic of discussion. So we're waiting. I thought we would have had the news by now, Ray, but they're dragging this thing on.
This is getting ridiculous. Just make a decision. Like, what are we doing here? This is 2 months now since the last time they talked about it. You haven't had enough time to think?
Well, maybe Jeffrey Lurie's compassionate speech has now people on the edge.
All right. Well, now you've switched your mind. Just place the vote and get it done with. Like, what are we doing?
Jeffrey Lurie's speech would have changed somebody who's inclined to vote against it to hear him and say, well, you know what? He's right.
No, I think people already have their minds made up.
I think it works in the opposite way.
They already have their minds made up.
All right, back to the text board. Ray, what we got on the text board?
All right, we got a texter that wants us to dive into the gambling aspect of this tush-push conversation. Because of gambling, it's so easy to predict a Jaylen Herz touchdown. That's really the real reason why they're trying to get rid of it, because gambling is in bed with the NFL.
You know, it's an interesting point because you do expect Jaylen to get a touchdown every single week with it, but the odds reflect that, though.
But what's the difference if you run the QB sneak?
That's the thing. We were talking to John and Andrew as they were walking out, saying now Saquon Barkley's touchdowns go up. I'm not sure that they do, because I think you still run the QB sneak, like you said, Mike.
It's the easiest path from point A to point B.
And you still have Jaylen Herz, who we all know, the extremely strong lower body. I still think it's going to be the same.
I agree. I don't really think it's going to change that much. It's just that people get like somebody gave them a lollipop and they're going to take it away from them and then they resent it. It's like a Philly lollipop. No, that's Philly lollipop. That's made by the Philly candy maker. Can't take that away from us.
Yeah, it's their play, man. Like, we've had this debate before. Like, if you took the tush push and another team was the one that invented it and another team was the one using it, I don't think we'd be as outraged, but would we be screaming that it should be banned? So you seem to think that if it was another team, like if it was the Cowboys, we'd be saying, it's an ugly play, it shouldn't be in the game.
Of course we would.
See, I would hope that we would be objective.
Oh, come on now. Seriously? If it was the Dallas Cowboys and they were running roughshod against the league with it?
Yeah, we probably would hate it.
Of course.
We would hate it, but would we ask for it to be banned?
Yeah. Especially,
I don't think so.
Especially us would ask for it to be banned. One more text and we go into a break here. And again, it's General Knowledge Wednesday, and you got a chance to get the Maury's deal of the week, which is a same-day ride and water park ticket, which is a great prize. That's a tremendous value on that ticket. We're giving away a pair.
First-time texter, I hope the tush push stays. I would love to see them use it for the entire first drive against the Packers next season. I don't care if it's 3 and out. That's how petty I am.
Yeah, see? That makes us look small. Makes us look small. All right, take away a tush push. Okay, who cares? We're still going to score touchdowns. That's the way I look at it.
I don't think it makes us look small to be
Makes us
frustrated that after you win a Super Bowl and were innovative in creating a play that now.
Tell me the truth. Do you really like the play?
I think it's an exciting play. I'm dead serious here.
Really?
The reason that it's exciting is because whenever they line up to do it, you feel the excitement. You could hear it in the stadium. Like, there is an excitement. Oh, man, are they going to be able to stop this? Are they going to get it? Here they go. There is something exciting about it. You may not like the way it looks, but it's exciting. I do think it's an exciting play.
You need to add more excitement to your life.
You're not excited? You're not on the edge of your seat?
610-632-0975 back after this.
We want to hear from you.
11:40, ladies and gentlemen, we have a decision. The white smoke has come out of the NFL coffers.
Now, breaking sports news from 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Ray, the breaking news is what?
The Tush Push will not be banned.
It lives.
The Tush Push lives on,
Tush Push
Ray.
lives. Much to this delight of Philadelphia Eagle fans all over the place who were so worried that their candy was going to be taken away from them.
Ray, you got salt and pepper? Push it. Push it real good. The Tush Push is here to stay, baby.
Bouquets given to Jeffrey Lurie by the ownership and a blow to the legacy of Roger Rabbit.
Wow.
Whoa.
What a job by Jeffrey Lurie, Jason Kelsey.
All right.
So they've got in the March meetings, apparently it was reported as a 16-16 vote. Goodell went to work. He did get more votes. It's being reported by Diana Rossini. 10 teams voted against the ban, meaning it was a 22-10 vote in favor of banning it. Not enough. You needed 24 votes to get it done.
Interestingly enough, he still owes those teams a favor.
Probably.
Because they switched it up and voted for him. Too short? He lost with too short?
Man, I can't believe it. I thought for sure this thing was getting banned today, Raymond.
The Tush Push survives. Oh, the world should rejoice.
Super Bowl repeat. We're going back.
Gotta be kidding me with this whole drama over this stupid play.
Oh, this is so funny, man. Seriously, though, Goodell's got to be upset. I mean, you wanted it banned, you push the vote, you try to get more votes, you get them, but you still come up
and
short.
they went like this to him.
That's right.
Phenomenal.
This is a big victory.
Here we go.
Bigger victory. Super Bowl 59 or the Tush Push staying.
Let's celebrate with us.
I can't believe
God, you gotta be nuts.
Yeah, why does this feel so good, Ray?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Why does this feel so good?
It's so ridiculous.
Vindication.
Oh, my God. All right, fellas, start working on it again. Get in the lab. Figure out a way to do it better.
Oh, you know what I can't wait for, Ray? I can't wait. What week is it? Week 10, Monday Night Football, Lambeau Field against the Green Bay Packers. Tush Push it 16 damn times. I can't wait to Tush Push all night long in Lambeau Field. Oh, it's going to be great.
Push this.
Push it real good.
Oh, this is so ridiculous. Back to the text board. Is anybody sounding off yet on the text board that this is the day of their lives?
YouTube chat's going crazy.
YouTube chat. What's the YouTube chat saying?
Oh, it's just here we go. We're back. Let's go. Suck it. Do it again.
Suck it.
People are saying Mike's angry.
Suck it.
I got an all-time cringe from Bill for me singing Push It Real Good.
We have an official statement from the Eagles Twitter account.
Oh, what do we got?
It's a picture of Jaylen Herz lining up for the Tush Push, and the picture comes from the back of the Packers defense.
Oh.
With Hertz looking at the defense, and the caption, push on.
Yo, great job by the Eagles social media team there with that troll.
I'm so curious what is still in the drafts as what they would have put up if it had been banned. Because you know they had to have had another post where they would have went after the Packers.
Yeah, they definitely had that waiting. I can't believe this. You know what I'm more shocked about? How happy I am right now.
You know,
why do I feel so good, Ray?
You know who looks silly through this whole thing? The Adam Schefters of the world.
Saying it was going to get banned?
Yeah, so it was no question it was going to get banned.
Yeah. Look, Jeffrey Lurie, I was talking earlier about him being a good owner. He clearly has the respect of other owners around the league. I mean, he made a case to keep it, and they listened to him, even in spite of the fact that Roger Goodell has been trying to get more votes on his side. Lurie knocks down Goodell. Down goes Goodell!
Didn't. I mean, he got 6 more votes.
Not enough. Not enough.
It's not like they voted for Lurie. They voted more for Goodell.
It'd be nice if they released who the 10 teams were that were on the Eagles' side with this. I'd like to know.
While I want to sit here and celebrate the win of the Eagles, you saying this is a win for Lurie's a little much.
I think it's a win for Laurie.
It can't be a win for Laurie because 6 more votes voted for Goodell's side. They didn't vote for Jeffrey Lurie's side. They just didn't get enough votes.
Well, he still had 10 people vote with him. Listen, if you are the 31 other teams, why would you not?
He already had 10 voting for him.
Yeah, but why
he
would
lost 6?
If you were the 31 other teams, why wouldn't you just be like, yeah, ban the thing? We don't run it anyway. Ban it. Why do we want to give them an advantage? I give a lot of respect to the 9 other teams who voted against it.
You're reaching Laurie's impact on this.
He did speak for a half hour, dude.
He lost votes. I mean, he spoke for a half hour. If you could show me that he gained 6 votes, then I'd say, yeah, you're right. He inspired people. The 10 who voted for him were voting for him anyway.
Maybe not.
Well, it was 16-16.
It was 16-16, and Roger Goodell, who normally gets what he wants, went to work and wasn't able to get 9 people to do it.
It's more a loss for Goodell than it is a win for Laurie. Because Goodell did win 6 more votes. He just didn't win 8.
Is the Tush Push here? This Tush Push is still here.
You go too far.
I'm not going too far.
Yes, you are.
It was a lot easier, in my opinion, for Roger Goodell to be able to promise favors and get people to vote in his favor.
You even said it's difficult to promise 8 teams favors. He needed 8. Maybe he ran out of favors and could only get 6. Now, does he still owe those favors? That's the question.
Maybe he does. Look, you got to give credit to Laurie, Roseman, Sirriani. They all worked their channels to keep these 10 votes or 9 votes. Give credit to Jason Kelsey. I just can't wait until they run it next year. It's going to be awesome. Like, now I can't wait to see them run.
Bill, you go too far. It's like ridiculous.
Oh, I'm right there with them with the excitement, though. Are you kidding me? The first time they roll that bad boy out, that stadium's going nuts. Against the Cowboys, opening night, banners just come down.
Serious. You're saying I'm going too far. How do you not
with your
see this
praise
as a
of
victory
Laurie.
for Jeffrey Lurie, who got up in front of the entire ownership of the NFL and made his case for it to stay, and it stays?
But he didn't get any additional votes. In fact, he got less votes. So how do you look at it as a victory for Jeffrey Lurie? If it was 16-16, Goodell got 6, Lurie subtracted 6.
Because if I'm Jeffrey Lurie and I'm going out of my way to try to keep this thing, I'm focusing on, all right, we need 9. We need 9. And he got them. You didn't need 22 votes.
But he already had 9.
But Goodell's been working for 2 months trying to get this thing banned.
I'm losing focus here.
How do you not give any credit to Jeffrey Lurie here?
Simple mathematics here.
I would love to weigh in on the 2 of you, but we just got from Schefter some of the teams that sided with the Eagles.
Okay.
Ravens, Patriots, Jets, and believe it or not, the Detroit Lions.
Wow. I always told you that Dan Campbell, man. Great coach, that Dan Campbell. The Detroit Lions. That's shocking to me.
Why would you side with them in this? If I was the Lions, I would just vote out of pure spite against the Eagles.
Well, they don't have anything. They don't have spite against the Eagles. Why would they have spite against the Eagles?
Well,
they don't want it to happen to them.
They're saying, you think Dan Campbell will be the type to relent to that? He'd say, screw it, we're going to stop that.
Yeah, he probably
We're going to stop it. I want them to keep running it because we're going to kick their ass. That's what he's saying.
Listen, still a lot of respect for the teams that didn't vote against it. Because it's a football play, Mike.
It's so far from a football play, it's not even funny. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Push on. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Tush Push will stay. We get the reports from the NFL owners' meetings. Diana Rossini reporting that the Tush Push vote to ban it, the proposal from the Packers, it has failed. Barely. It failed barely. There were 10 votes against the proposed ban. They needed it to be 24 votes in favor of the ban. They only got 22 votes in favor of the ban. So the Tush Push remains for another season. And we can have this exhausting debate all over again for the next 365 days. How awesome is that? In terms of Eagles news this week, we also got the news that Nick Sirianni got a contract extension. That led to pressers with Jordan Mailata, Jaylen Herz, and A.J. Brown. Brown talking about how he's going to be here so long as his coach is.
I told, I literally texted Nick last night, told him congrats. I told him I'm done when he's done. I don't know how long his extension is, but but he was like, of course.
Brown and Jordan Mailata also made it known they wouldn't be concerned about the potential tush-push ban, but now they don't have to worry about it. In Colorado last night, the Phillies won 7-4 over the Rockies. Kyle Schwarber homered. Jesus Luzardo looked good once again. Tonight, it's Taijuan Walker getting the start at 8:40 as the first-place Phillies look to win their 6th game in a row. This update is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz Dreams Days are back with offers on vehicles like 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, EQE Sedan. Hurry it now through July 31st. Learn more at mbusa.com/dream. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for NBA playoff action. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Mike Missanelli Show. Yeah, for you Seinfeld friends, Mike Gill just sent me a little meme. You Seinfeld freaks out there. Goodell lost like Morty Seinfeld, Del Boca Vista.
It's a great reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill's knows nothing about it. So I love to put the things out there that Bill, it's completely over his head.
Don't get it.
Yeah, of course you don't. You're rejoicing. It's amazing. You're walking around, bopping around.
It is. It's a victory for Philadelphia today. It is.
It's a victory for Philadelphia.
We should feel good. I want the fans to sound off today.
Oh, my God. It's a victory for Philadelphia.
We should be celebrating. They tried to take something away from us that they didn't deserve to take away, and they lost.
Oh, my God.
How about that, Roger
Hell
Goodell?
yeah.
The News at Noon is coming up in about 5 minutes. There'll be some interesting stuff in the News at Noon. But the people, I know that this is something that, you're right, people will look at it like, see that? Philly prevails again.
Phillies on a 5-game winning
Philly
streak.
tough.
You got Sirriani getting his contract extension. The Tush Push is here to stay. We got the unofficial start of summer coming up this weekend. Times are good, Ray.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Times are good. I just don't know what Mike Missanelli is going to do. Is he going to wear his Packers jersey this year, his Knicks jersey, his Astros jersey as he roots for the no-hitter in the World Series?
Nonsense. Stop with your nonsense. Phillies win last night, by the way. There were a bunch of hits, right? Last night. Is this a violation for me to have turned off that game?
No, I understand it because the Rockies are
I just can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't watch Major League Baseball. This is supposed to be Major League quality baseball. The first thing that happens is the pitcher doesn't get over to first base and cover fast enough.
Yeah,
The second thing that happens is Harper should be out by 20 feet. The left fielder throws a yank.
it's been look, thankfully we're watching the Phillies take advantage of it, but it is a tough brand of baseball to watch. They're terrible. Terrible. By the way,
And then on another swinging bunt, Sensatella gets it and throws it behind the runner at first base.
yeah, who was that?
In the same inning.
Was that Marsh
Yeah, I think it
that
was.
beat that out? I can't remember now. I was running together how many people. But look, I know the Rockies stink, but Harper's up to 272. Trey's still hitting over 300. You got Brandon Marsh since he's come back. I think he's hitting over 300 since he got back. His average is now up to 231. So maybe this is going to help everybody. JT's still struggling now. He was 0 for 5 again last night. He's only hitting 228.
Nobody's saying anything about Trey Turner anymore. Have you noticed that?
Oh, he's hitting 300.
Yeah, no, he completely disarmed everybody with his bad defense.
Now, you know I've been higher on the Phillies this season than maybe you have, but I'm going to give you a little argument that you could make.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, they're 30-18, right?
Yeah.
They are 17-3 against teams below 500.
Yeah, they should be.
And only 13-15 against teams
I know,
above.
that's a worry. It's a worry. They bust up these bad teams.
They are
That's
busting
for
them
sure.
up. But, yeah, can they do it? And we won't find out now because we got the Athletics after this. So we won't find out.
No, the Athletics are actually better than those two mutt teams they recently played.
Yeah, what's the Athletics right now?
They're not bad. They're not as bad.
22-27 in the basement of the AL West.
Yeah. I think they're not good, but they're not as bad as the Rockies.
No, but gutsy performance by Luzardo last night.
Yeah.
I was shocked when he came back out.
He's solid, man. He really is.
Weren't you a little surprised, though, when they bring him back out in the
He
sixth?
lobbied for it.
He did, which is a credit to him. I get nervous.
He said, our bullpen blows, so I'm going to go one more inning. That's basically what he said to Rob Thompson.
Yeah, you're what is the word I'm thinking here? Paraphrasing it. But yes, that's basically what he said.
What he said.
No, that's exactly what he said. He was mic'd up. We heard it.
Yeah, that's basically what he said.
No, Topper. Those guys out there stink. Give me the ball.
Yeah, it's exactly what he said.
Can I hear more Jaylen Herz? No, actually, we're up against the break. But I want to hear him. I got to hear this main thing.
We're not up against the break. We're up against news and noon.
News and noon.
Keep the main thing the main thing.
What I meant. Nothing has changed in terms of his focus and accountability. Like he's got all these things that I just love to hear.
He does, and we learned yesterday. This year it's going to be iteration. The iteration of this team
is the word of the day.
Yeah.
All right, it is 12 noon. Happy lunchtime to everybody. You are listening to the 97.5 The Fanatic, Mike Missanelli Show. It's on WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting daily from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. And ladies and gentlemen, as you enjoy your lunch, enjoy it over a generous helping of the news at noon.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the news at noon 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
And the news of noon presented by one Raymond Dunn. Mr. Dunn, what do you have for today?
We're going to start with the NBA playoffs and something that I absolutely loved from last night. Not just the Thunder winning the game, but Michael Malone has joined ESPN's coverage of the Western Conference Finals. And he had a very interesting thing to say post-game when talking about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, because everyone knows SGA, Jokic, locked in the MVP battle, which apparently will be named tonight. And Jokic was obviously a player of Malone's in Denver. There's a lot of discussion about the two of their relationship right now following Malone's firing. And last night, post-game, Malone says this about SGA.
And then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he showed why he's the MVP. He took over in the second half.
Subtle shot at Jokic?
Nah.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a shot.
No, and I heard this. I did not think that. And they were talking about this on the morning show, too, because Brendan Gunn was saying he was taking a shot at Jokic. I don't think so.
No, I don't even take a shot. Listen, he knows how good Jokic was. Jokic has won MVPs before in the past. This is a year where I think the general consensus by most everybody is that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's the MVP.
Yeah, and he's there calling a game or analyzing a game that doesn't even include Jokic. Like if this was OKC versus Denver and he threw that out there, maybe. But you're talking about OKC versus Minnesota and SGA had a great game and they dominated. I don't think he's hating.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's an unpopular opinion. I think the whole world thinks that Alexander should get it this year.
Well, they're announcing it this week, right?
I believe tonight. I thought I saw that it was tonight. Yeah, that's coming along. But it is interesting because all season long, Malone was a proponent of Jokic to win the MVP. So I'm just saying, he could have stayed, stood on business.
A little bit of pandering for the broadcast, I think, as well.
All right.
All
right.
Okay.
Fair enough. All right. I'm spinning General Knowledge Wednesday on all of you guys because I like when Final Jeopardy is something sports related and the people don't get it. So this is something that nobody sitting there on Jeopardy got last night. All of the smart people in the world could not get this one. I'm going to give you the full 30 seconds. You get the Jeopardy music and everything here with the Final Jeopardy question.
This game, NFL geography. Here's the clue. It's the state with the lowest population density that's home to an NFL team. 30 seconds. Good luck.
Wisconsin. I'm going Wisconsin. Green Bay. No? Incorrect? You got a guess, Mike?
Oh, man. This is tough.
I thought I nailed it with the Packers, man.
I'm going to go Jacksonville.
Well, no, that would be Florida. It said the state.
Oh, the state. Oh, well, can't be.
So it can't be Florida. Hold on, let me get one more guess at this. Lowest population density.
Kansas City. Missouri. Wow.
Colorado. Wow. It's a tough question.
Not Missouri, huh?
It's actually a great question because a lot of people don't think of it as an NFL state. It's Nevada. Las Vegas Raiders.
Las Vegas Raiders.
That's too nouveau.
Did any of them get it?
No,
Final
none
Jeopardy?
of them got it. A lot of thousands of dollars went down the drain.
That's too nouveau. Come on, man. We weren't even thinking of that as a team yet.
That's why it's a good question.
Yeah, that's what I liked about the question.
Also,
the trick question.
We all would have got it wrong because we didn't answer it in the form of a question.
That is correct.
What is Las Vegas? Or no, what is Nevada would have been the answer.
Come on.
All right.
Be better, Bill. All right, last one for you. Keep it with the NFL here. Josh Harris's wife making some headlines. Marjorie talking at a Commanders Foundation event and had this to say when asked about the draft coming to D.C.
We have so much to look forward to. And look, the Commanders are America's team. And so what better place to have the NFL draft than in the mall?
Commanders are America's team.
Where did she get that? Where's that come from? What is her story? We don't really hear much from her.
No.
What's her deal?
She's married to Josh Harris. I don't know what she did before.
I think she does
that.
a lot of the foundation wing stuff for Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment.
She founded
foundation event.
Yeah, I'm looking now. She founded all the Harris philanthropies with her husband.
Oh, she did.
The charities. But when she says America's team, Do you think she knows that that's what the Cowboys were always called, or is she just oblivious to that and saying because they're in D.C.?
I think she's pandering. She's pandering. She's part of that organization now. She wants to pump them up a little bit.
Or does she just look at it as we're in the country's capital?
This whole Harris thing makes me uncomfortable. The whole Harris thing, you know?
What, that they own all these teams?
Yeah, it's just, I'm uncomfortable with him owning the Sixers.
And the Devils and the Commanders.
Well, he can own the Devils and the Commanders, but now he's blurring the lines here when it comes to Philadelphia. He's got her pumping up Washington, D.C. He pumps up Washington, D.C. It's offensive to the people who support his own damn team here.
I never liked it when he bought the Commanders. I was very vocal. I did not think that if you own the Sixers that you should own
multiple entities.
The Eagles, one of the Eagles' rivals. It just seems weird. It like when there was the rumor that Laurie was interested in the Celtics, which he shot down. Could you imagine?
It's a free capitalistic society.
It is. It just doesn't feel right. Makes you feel dirty.
All right. 12 o'clock hour brought to you by Service First HVAC, offering 0% financing for 48 months, rebates and tax credits up to $4,300 when purchasing a heating and cooling system. Learn more at servicefirsthvac.com. Apparently, people do not want to engage in General Knowledge Wednesday, so the rules will now be changed. It'll be Bill versus Ray, with the audience helping out Bill's side.
Okay.
We are 2-2 right now. So the audience can help you out.
Yeah, I'm surprised, too, because not only can you take advantage of General Knowledge today, try to win that great prize of the Maurice Pier tickets combo for the Water Park, too, I want reactions to the Tush Push not being banned. I thought this would be a celebration today, and you could rub it in Mike's face because Mike wanted it banned.
Mike wanted it banned, so come on at me. Celebrate. Cool in the Gang.
Cool in the Gang. It's such a good song.
Great name for a band, too.
Cool in the Gang with a K.
Gang. 610-632-0975.
That should be the name of this show. I'm cool, and you two are the gang.
This is bad. This is very, very bad.
Back into this.
Jaylen Herz.
First and foremost, congratulations to him. Everything that he's been able
Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5. We got all kinds of text board reaction on the Eagles triumphantly holding on to the tush push for next season after the commissioner of the league wanted it banned, thought he had enough votes, came up 2 votes short. They'll run the tush push again next year, and they'll start working on it right now. Cultivating it again.
What, you're saying to try to ban it, or the
How
Eagles?
many offensive linemen really didn't care? Say, you know what? I don't care if this goes away. I'm bored with it anyway. You know? Oh, it's this again. We got to keep doing this.
I said it yesterday. For me, this was less about the play itself and more about the precedent I thought it was going to set in the NFL, that you're going to ban something and make up unfounded reasons that just didn't make sense. Like, to say that it was a safety issue when it wasn't, to say that it was a pace of play issue when it wasn't, simply because one team had figured out a play that they created and they were innovative in doing it, and other teams have struggled in replicating it. I just thought it would have set a dangerous precedent. I'm glad that 9 teams other than the Eagles said, you know what, Roger Goodell, sit your ass down.
You got your wish. I think the play's ridiculous. I think it looks ridiculous. I think it's not a football play. Me and Goodell were kindreds on this issue, and yet we lost. What's the text board saying, Ray?
For me, it's more about the middle finger to the haters than loving the play. Now that we gave them all the double bird, I can rest easy when they ban it next offseason. Lou from Langhorne.
They're going to ban it next season.
Yeah, can they bring it back up for vote again next season? Like, are we going to do this every offseason now?
Feels like it. Feels like we've just penciled in this debate for the next however many off seasons till it happens. It's not going to be around forever.
People are going to really work on it this year, I think, to get more successful at it. So it's probably here to stay now.
I'll tell you, though, the Eagles' social media team is trolling like crazy. So Ray talked about the tweet they put out that said push on. They just posted a 26-minute video to their YouTube channel of just tush pushes. 26 minutes of the tush push is what it's called, is the title of their video.
I love it.
They were ready for this, man.
That would have been in memoriam?
You're swimming in glee.
I love it. I love the troll.
Swimming in glee juice today, both of you.
I just love how it's just...
If you dare take something Philly-oriented away from us Philadelphians.
It's a victory for Philly. But coming off of what Mailata said yesterday about they hate the name the tush push, they stopped calling it the tush push.
What's the problem with tush? Like, I don't get it. Why would he hate that? He's an Aussie. Don't you have a sense of humor?
Yeah. You like the brotherly shove better?
No, I like the tush push. You loosen up a little bit.
Maybe we need a better name
for it. What's wrong with the tush push?
Maybe we need a better name.
What, are you shortening it to the push? Is that what they're going to do? What's the difference? Tush push to push. It's an alliteration.
You know what they should call it? They should figure something out, like where it's a play on the Packers and Goodell. You know, we if we're going to really troll, we should change the name to Troll. Like, completely troll it. Think of something like...
They're running the troll?
or something that has the Roger Pack or something, something like that.
Lambeau lunge.
There we go. Yeah, make it about Lambeau.
If it was about Lambeau, it wouldn't be banned.
The Lambeau leap is a lot more...
Very safe.
This is true. The Lambeau leap is a lot more dangerous than the tush push.
Oh, my God.
It is.
Hey,
it's a lot more dangerous. You're jumping into a crowd. What are we doing, Green Bay?
What's wrong with you?
What are we doing in Green Bay?
I got to hear some more Nick Sirriani. Let's do Nick Sirianni 5, where he's so fortunate to be around this group.
Yeah, I feel fortunate that I'm around a lot of guys like our coaches, our other coaches, our players on this team that, we have this will to win, right? You don't, someone put it this way. I've talked to a lot of coaches this offseason trying to get better at my craft, and somebody put it this way: you don't win a pickup basketball game and say, all right, I'm satisfied, I'm going home. Right? You say, hey, how do we run it back? And we're not even thinking about running. We're thinking about where we are today and trying to get better. But you strap up and you play again. And I think there's always pressure in this profession, and and looking forward to the next year and building this team. Everything else is in the past. Everything else that goes in. I think that when teams are trying so hard to repeat or trying so hard to recapture, there's two mistakes that they make, right? They either are looking at their past accomplishments or they're looking too far into the future of how do you do that again. And it's really about the daily grind that you go through day in and day out. And there's a mental toughness to being able to do that and go through that every single day.
What do you think, Bill? That pump you up?
I mean, I don't get the pickup basketball game analogy.
His analogies are the worst ever. Have you noticed this? He can't come up with a really good analogy ever.
Well, he says, this is where he messes up, too, because not only is that a terrible analogy about the pickup basketball game, he goes, you figure out how can we run it back, and then he realizes, wait, no, that can't be the message this year. No, we're not trying to run it back.
Yeah.
All right, come on,
He
Nick.
just talks, man.
Yeah, he does. He does, but I'm happy for him.
Oh, good.
Happy for you,
All
Nick.
right, let's go back to the text board, and then we'll get we got some calls that are hanging out. So give me another text. Give me a text of glee, Ray.
The tush push is just a glorified QB sneak, and it saves wear on our MVP Barkley pounding for a yard.
There you go. Saves wear and tear on him. So now they do wear and tear.
You think
He's not going to get the ball anyway. This is a quarterback sneak situation.
So you were here and you watched me and Ray react to the news. We were very excited.
Mm-hmm.
If you were in the room with Jaylen Herz just now when he got the phone call that the tush push wasn't banned, how do you think he reacted?
I don't know. I don't.
You think he even smiled?
I don't think it matters to him. I really don't.
Keep the main thing the main
Yeah,
thing.
do you think Jaylen celebrated this at all?
No.
Typically, when you play to the standard, you win.
No. Because he knows that, and it almost works the other way around. Now, I can quarterback sneak and still get a first down. I don't need to tush push. I'm that stoic.
You may be right.
He has no reaction to it. 610-632-0975. We got Joe and Tony, our callers. We'll get them after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Push on. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. We got the news in the last hour that the tush push lives. As the owners met in Minnesota over the last 2 days, the tush push ban was a topic that was going to come up. They were able to vote on it, and barely it survives. There were 22 votes to ban it, but they needed 24. They didn't have the votes, so the tush push lives to see another day. Reportedly, the Lions were one of the teams that helped the Eagles out, and also the Ravens, the Jets, trying to help out this team and keeping the tush push around. Jason Kelce was there giving a speech. Jeffrey Lurie was giving a speech, so it lives to see another day. It was something that A.J. Brown and Jordan Mailata both talked about yesterday. They weren't too concerned about a potential tush push ban, and also what we heard yesterday from A.J. Brown, he's excited to have his coach around much longer.
I told I literally texted Nick last night. Told him congrats. I told him I'm done when he's done. I don't know how long his extension is, but he was like, of course.
We're still waiting to get those details of the extension that Nick Sirriani got earlier this week, but still playing that came out of the media availability for a number of people for the Birds yesterday. In Colorado last night, the Phillies won 7-4 over the Rockies. Kyle Schwarber homered. Jesus Luzardo once again looking great tonight. Stewan Walker get the start at 8:40 as the first place Phillies look to win their 6th game in a row. This update is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Get matched and sleep at night during Mattress Firm's Upgrade Your Sleep sale. Take 120 nights to love your new bed or your money back. Restrictions apply. I'm Ray Dunn in your home for NBA playoff action. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
He rejoices that Tush Push stays. Let me just clarify my stance on this, right? I always look at things. I don't look at things provincially. Like, I'm not going to get all involved and say, yeah, Tush Push, it's indigenous to us. It's our thing, and they shouldn't take it away from them because they're jealous of us. They hate us because I don't get involved in that. I look at it objectively, and I go, I didn't like that play from the jump. So it's not like I'm anti-Eagle here. I'm anti the play. I don't think it makes football look good at all.
But what is it about the play that you don't like?
It's unfair play. It's an unfair play to stack pounds behind a play that the defense has no defense for. And don't give me, well, how come other people? That's their problem. I don't know how they don't make it work. Because it's something that you should be able to make work every single time because you have the edge in pounds and leverage.
I'm not doing the physics argument with you again.
Well, you don't have to do the physics argument. It only makes sense.
But when you say it's an unfair play, what is the difference when Jordan Mailata and Landon Dickerson double team a defensive lineman?
Because that's skill. That's taught that you're taught to block a certain scheme and as a double team on one guy to make a particular play go for yardage. That's football. Right. That's regular football. This isn't regular football. It's rugby.
I'm just trying to understand. So it's an unfair play to run the tush push, but you were fully in support of Patrick Mahomes running full speed to the sidelines, stopping, and trying to get hit.
Because that's gamesmanship. That's not an unfair play. It's just gamesmanship. Gamesmanship happens in every sport.
I could not disagree with you more than this opinion.
Because you're misguided. I understand why you wouldn't agree.
Well,
you're a misguided guy.
Me and Dan Campbell see eye to eye.
Yeah, well. 610-632-0975. I'm not going to sit here and claim defeat here. Good. If it pumps your nads, then knock yourself out. You got the tush push back. Have fun with it. But I just think I just think the play looks ridiculous.
Listen,
that's all.
The good news for you is your Knicks will probably still go to the NBA Finals.
You know I'd eat me. All right. 610-632-0975. Let's get back to the phones. Joe in South Jersey. Joe, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Joe?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's happening, Joe? How you doing?
Good. Mike, I already texted in my point about the tush push to Ray. Spoiler, it's an old man shaking at a cloud.
It's not an old man shaking at a cloud, man. Don't use that, because I'm telling you, it's objective.
Okay.
It's objective. I'm not anti-Eagle, old man yelling at a cloud. I think the play is stupid, and so did the commissioner.
I understand. I'm saying the way it sounds coming across the radio. You made your point, but that was just how it sounded.
Yeah.
But to go with Bill, first off, I never trust a man that wears capri pants. But second off,
I don't wear capris.
Bill, I've texted. Okay.
No, those are joggers, dude. Those are Lululemon joggers. Come on now, they're not capris. But go ahead, make your point.
Sure. Whatever. The Sirriani stuff, I don't have a problem with Sirriani with the contract. When I was listening the last couple of days, I kept going back to my issue with Sirianni, or why I wasn't fully bought in, was frankly you. I'm fine with him, and then I listen to the radio, and you get so saturated overpraising him that it becomes, it's like, here's the analogy, it's like The Walking Dead. I never watched the show because I'm not into zombies, but everyone told me how great it was, and I got to the point where it's like, I don't want to watch the damn show because I've been told by too many people how great it is. I don't care anymore. So it's kind of the similar thing with Sirianni. It's like you hear this effusive praise over and over again, and it gets to the point where it's like, you know what, bleep that guy. I'm tired of hearing about how great he is. And I love the Eagles. I love the Super Bowl. The parade was one of the happiest days of my life. I took my kids.
Wait, are you saying that Bill actually hurts Sirianni love?
I'm saying the reason your show doesn't get more Sirianni love is because Bill has already sopped up all the love that's available in the air.
Bill. Joe, let me ask you a question, and I respect your opinion on this, but let me ask you a question. I love Mike, but I'm sitting next to Mike. I had to fight the Sirianni fight because coming into the season, Mike was one of many, many people who wanted Sirianni gone. So part of the reason that I have been Sirianni's defender is because, and it's not just Mike, Did you want Sirianni back last year, yes or no?
No.
Okay. So the reason I had to defend him was because you and Mike and several others wanted him fired.
You didn't have to defend him. You weren't on his payroll.
I defended him because I truly felt he deserved to come back, and look what happened.
I mean, you got lucky.
Okay.
Basically.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I like Nick as a coach now. I think the buy and the change was wonderful. Before the buy, I didn't think he'd make it through the year. The outcome was amazing. But you call in and you hear, like, you would just discount the 6 or 7 losses, and it just got to the point where, and it was a circular argument, Bill. It was like arguing with my 10-year-old. It's like, so it's, Mike would make a counterpoint. You go right.
All right, I'm the old man yelling at a cloud, and Bill's wearing capri pants.
But Joe, Joe's making my point for me, saying that you wanted the guy fired.
All right, Joe wants general knowledge. Joe, number one songs of the 1990s. Who did that song?
Okay, I went into WrestleMania one, but I'll take.
Oh, all right, we'll give you a WrestleMania one. All right, we'll give you a WrestleMania one. All right. In 1997, The Undertaker slayed a wrestler who had one short name. His name was only 3 letters. The Undertaker versus this man who only had 3 letters as a first name. 1997 WrestleMania.
Sid.
Who?
Sid.
Sid is correct.
Sid Vicious?
Sid. It was just Sid. Congratulations. Hold on one second, Joe. Sid was correct. Do you remember Sid?
Hold on, I'm looking up.
You don't remember Sid?
That wasn't Sid Vicious? Different Sid, or?
It was just Sid.
Oh, Psycho Sid. Yeah, it's Sid Vicious.
It is Sid Vicious?
Yeah.
All right, The Undertaker defeated Sid, it says here.
Yeah, he was Psycho Sid, Sid Vicious, but Sid, that works. He got it right. So callers are winning 3-2.
All right. Ray? Where should I go with Ray?
90s music.
90s music?
I got a better chance at that than WrestleMania.
Okay. Ray, 1990s. 1994, number one hit song. It Was a Good Day.
Oh.
Hip-hop.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think.
It Was a Good Day.
Dr. Dre?
Oh, close, Ray.
You are close.
Also part of NWA.
Cube.
Oh, Cube.
Damn. All right, so the audience is up on Ray. Now, you're playing for is the audience playing for you, Bill?
I think that's what you said.
The audience is playing for you.
So do I get a question?
You want a question?
Yeah, give me a 90s music question.
90s music question for you. 1991.
Oh, going way back.
Losing My
REM.
Religion is correct.
REM. That's me in the corner. All right. I got yelled at for singing, so I'm not going to sing anymore.
Okay. Well, there you go. Back to.
Do you know what REM stands for?
Rapid Eye Movement.
Correct.
See, that was difficult. What, did you think you were going to stump me with that?
When you reach that state of sleep, it's your best sleep. I think you dream in REM state of sleep.
Oh, my God. Back to the text board for a couple of Tush Push. See, I'm the old man laying it. Where do I get old man yells at cloud? I just didn't like to play. I couldn't care less whether it passed or it didn't. I still don't like to play, even though it's passed. Does that make me old man yelling at cloud?
No, I respect your opinion, even though you're wrong. So you're not an old man yelling at a cloud.
Where is the old man yelling at cloud? Where's that come from?
Well,
what am I doing here? I'm not yelling at a cloud.
I don't know. Joe was very wrong in a lot of those things. I don't wear capris. And to act like I didn't have a reason to defend Sirianni is ridiculous. I mean, everybody wanted the guy fired.
Because you completely ignored it. 9 times out of 10, you would have said something like, yeah, you lose 6 of your last 7 games, you don't deserve to come back. You got lucky. You backed the guy and you got lucky.
No,
you didn't see anything special. A guy loses 6 of his last 7 games. What possibly could you have seen special?
I gave you reasons ad nauseum on why you should not look at the 6 of 7 and judge him solely on that alone.
How do you come up with that? In your face is 6 of the last 7, and you're going. You shouldn't judge him by that.
Yes.
How do you
because
come up with that?
I gave you several
You're not normal.
reasons. I gave you several reasons for it. We know how hard it is to go back after you lose the Super Bowl. We know what the Super Bowl hangover is like. He lost his offensive coordinator. He lost his defensive
to watch
coordinator.
a guy lose at the 6 of his last 7 games and endorse him. It's not normal. Now, you did, and you got lucky.
See, I think it would have been a knee-jerk reaction to fire a guy simply because of that. That was my point. You don't ignore it. Yeah, you had to make changes. They did. You had to change personnel. You had to get new coaches in here. You had to do different things.
It
but you
wasn't
don't fire
indicative
him.
to you at that time, when he loses 6 of 7, that he didn't really know what he was doing. That thought never entered your head?
No, it was a bad ending to a season.
Well, I
but you
know.
don't just throw.
This is the most astonishing thing about you. How that thought never entered your head is the most astonishing thing. Because 99% of the people saw that and said, he needs to go. You didn't. You got lucky.
Super Bowl.
You got lucky. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Andrew Salciunas.
One on the Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. 610-632-0975 is how you get in. And let's go back to the phones because some people have chimed in here about the tush push and other things. That go to Daniel, who's calling from L.A. Daniel, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Daniel.
You're my brother, and I love you, but never go against the family.
That's a good one right there.
That's how I feel about you.
I'm not going against the family. I'm going, you know what? They're good enough to get those first downs with a quarterback sneak or with Saquon Barkley. They don't need to have a gimmicky play.
Yeah, I agree with that too, but it's just when the world is against us, Philadelphia is going to die with their team.
And see, that's where I go, we ought to be better than that to have everybody's picking on Philadelphia. I hate that whole narrative that, where everybody picks on us and they're not fair to us. And I think we need to rise above that.
Another point, I've always known you to be a really smart guy, and I feel like over the last year, you kind of lost the plot on fandom. Because last year you were rooting for the Mets. Now this year you're rooting for a no-no. And now you're rooting for the Knicks? Come on, Mike.
Let me ask you a question.
What are we doing here?
Brian, Daniel, let me ask you a question. The Knicks are playing the Indiana Pacers. What do you have in common with the Pacers?
Nothing, but it's a New York team.
Oh, so what? The Knicks haven't won. The Knicks aren't a viable team. They haven't won since 1973. Who gives a crap?
So keep that going.
It doesn't matter.
Who cares? They got three guys that play. Do you watch this team? They play hard. I admire that.
You can like a team, but you don't have to openly root for them.
I'm openly rooting for them to beat Indiana. I like this team the way they play.
Good basketball. But I
like the Mets the way they played last year, too. They play with more heart than the Phillies did. And the Knicks play with more heart. I like teams that play with heart.
I don't get it, Mike.
It's childish, Daniel. It's childish of you.
Look, I grew up in L.A. my whole life. And there's two rules you learn. You never root for a Boston team or a New York team.
I get that to a point. When they're playing Philadelphia teams, I hate them. When they're not, in this particular case, they play with a lot of heart. I admire that. I watched a team in Philly that didn't play with any freaking heart last year.
Hold on.
Yeah, we're going to have to disagree.
Before Daniel gets his general knowledge question, I got a question, Mike, because you just said that the Knicks haven't won since the
73. 73.
The Cowboys haven't won since 95. Are you ever going to tell me that there's going to be a situation where the Eagles aren't in the playoffs, that you'll be rooting for the Cowboys?
That's different.
Well, how's it different? They're the Knicks.
The Cowboys don't have three guys from Villanova who won a national championship on them.
What if they did?
They're winners. Those
they got
kids
Micah
from
Parsons from Penn State.
That's one guy. Okay, that's one guy, and that's Penn State. Villanova's won a national championship twice with those guys. Okay, so they know how to win, and I admire that.
I can't root for the Knicks either, Daniel.
You guys are childish. All right, Daniel, you want a general knowledge question?
Sure.
All right, Daniel. This is a 5-letter geography, so the answer has to have 5 letters. What country is more than 4,000 kilometers long, but only about 200 kilometers wide? And it's in North America.
What country? Let's go
It's in the Americas.
Okay, long,
but not wide.
Let's go with is it Chile?
Chile's correct. Hold on a second, Daniel. Hold on. Here comes Daniel coming in hot. So the audience now with 4 correct answers.
5.
Well, you want to give them the one you got? Okay.
Yeah, I got them at 5 too.
You got the one. I didn't count the one.
They're dominating.
All right, Ray. Italy's fashion capital. 5 letters.
It's in northern Italy.
Thank you. That really helps.
This should be an easy one, Ray.
This is the fashion capital, Ray.
The more you guys say the fashion capital, the more it's really sticking out in my head. Capri, I don't know.
Oh. Milan, Ray.
Oh.
Let's get your northern Italy, let's get a little up to date on your Northern Italy.
Ray's Italian too.
I know. That's valid. See, half Italian violation. You should know Milan. It's like Paris. You know, it's got that kind of fashion sense.
Yes, I do keep up to date on my fashion.
You look good today.
Thanks.
Where's Ish?
Ish has not called today.
Is Ray there? Hello. Is Ray there?
Go to Brian in Pottstown. Brian, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Brian?
Hey, what's up, Mike?
How you doing?
I do hate the Knicks. However, I do agree that this team, I don't hate this Knicks team. And I would like to see them win only because I think that would light a fire under the Philadelphia. Well, it would show some sense of urgency that Philadelphia needs to step their basketball.
Yeah, well, they're not going to win. There's no way they beat Oklahoma City.
Yeah, you're right there.
But in this series, I'm going, well, Indiana. Well, I'm going to root for Indiana against the Knicks. Well, I care. I like the Knicks, the way the Knicks play.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then my second thing is with what's his name, the reliever Alvarado going out. It's definitely evident that we need some bullpen help. Do you think if Taijuan Walker could put some starts together, and the way he's already pitching, would he have any trade value?
Not at that price.
Yeah, big contract, man.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Can the Phillies pay any of that salary?
Yeah, they can, but you're talking about a major salary. I don't know if they would. Like he can help them in a couple of innings. I don't know if they think it would be worth. Taijuan Walker's not going to get you anything. So
Okay,
what's the
all
point? What's the point in trading them?
All right, I got you.
All right. General knowledge for you, bro.
Yeah.
All right. This is easy general knowledge category. So the question is, what is the only country that borders Portugal?
The only country that borders Portugal. Yeah, I absolutely no idea.
No idea? Wow, you're out. Uh-oh. Out goes Brian from Pottstown.
Is it Spain?
It is Spain. It's right next to it.
Yeah, that one seemed easy for some reason.
I was in Portugal.
Lisbon?
You know, I can't remember where we landed. It
Probably
was
Lisbon.
on the way to Spain.
Gotcha.
And we had a stopover in Portugal.
I've been in Spain. I've never been to Portugal.
I got an espresso, and I looked down, and this big black beetle was in the middle of it.
Was that like part of the drink, or was a
no?
It's a delicacy.
Yeah, it was not part of the drink. He used to say, "I went without an espresso."
Yeah. Let me just go back to this Knicks thing with you for a second.
Go ahead. Go ahead with it.
Because you keep talking about the team. You keep talking about the team.
I committed a mortal sin.
Well, listen,
crying out loud here.
I agree with you with the team. I love Jalen Brunson. I like these guys. I like the way they play. It's the fans, Mike. I don't want to see the Knicks fans get the pleasure of their team going to the NBA Finals.
They haven't been there since 1973. What are you worried about the fans for? It's not like Boston where they win all the time.
Players come and go. It's the fan bases that we hate. You don't hate the Cowboys because of Dak. You hate the Cowboys because of their fan base and Jerry Jones.
By hating them, you're playing right into them. I refuse to do that. I go, who cares for their fans? I'm going to let their fans bother me? 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Push on. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. It's brought to you by Bradford White Water Heaters. When you need a new water heater, choose one that's built to be the best. Choose Bradford White. The Tush Push has not been banned. According to reports from the owners' meetings out in Minneapolis, the proposed ban was voted on today, and it just barely survived that proposed ban. It was a 22-10 vote. Ironically, the score of the game between the Eagles and the Packers in the playoffs. 22-10, 22 teams voting in favor to ban it, 10 teams voting against the ban, so the Tush Push lives to see another day. A.J. Brown, Jordan Mailata, when meeting with the media yesterday, really suggested they didn't care one way or another, but their press conferences were a bigger part of a few guys talking about Nick Sirianni getting a contract extension. A.J. Brown saying he's going to be here so long as his coach is.
I told, I literally texted Nick last night, told him congrats. I told him I'm done when he's done. I don't know how long his extension is, but But he was like, of course.
We also don't know how long Nick Sirianni's extension is. We're still waiting for details from that. In Colorado last night, the Phillies won 7-4 over the Rockies. Kyle Schwarber homered again. Jesus Lazard looked good again. Tonight, it's Taijuan Walker getting started 8:40 as the first-place Phils look to win their 6th game in a row. This update is brought to you by WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, your personal messages stay private because your personal messages are yours. No one else can see or hear them, not even on WhatsApp. WhatsApp, message privately with everyone. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for NBA playoff action, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right. I'm going to tell you why I like the Knicks. You know who they remind me of? Maybe my favorite team ever in the city. Well, actually, second favorite team. My favorite team is the 1983 Sixers. But a close second, the 2001 Sixers. And the Knicks remind me of exactly the way that team meshed together.
There's just a big difference.
What's the difference?
The 01 Sixers had the Philadelphia fan base.
Yeah, I get it.
And this Knicks team has the Knicks fan base.
And if the Knicks were playing the fat Philadelphia team, I'd be on the side of the Sixers. However, the 2001 Sixers had the one dominant scoring player, Jalen Brunson. The rest of them, tremendous role players that fit. They were tremendously well coached. Everything about the 2001 Sixers reminds me of the way the Knicks play.
All right, who was the OG Anunoby on the 0-1 Sixers?
Who was the OG Anunoby? You know what? Maybe OG Anunoby's a little better than what the Sixers had.
He was pretty good. Or he is pretty good.
Yeah, he's probably better than anybody the Sixers put on that starting lineup.
You got Dikembe or Karl Anthony Towns.
No, you have to forget Dikembe. You had Theo Ratliff.
Well, Ratliff got traded away.
Theo Ratliff was the guy that put them off to a 42-10 start.
And they traded him away.
Yeah, and Dikembe, they were 500 with Dikembe. So I'm not talking about that team. I'm talking about the Theo team.
See, I don't think you can talk about the Theo team. I think you got to talk about the team that went to the NBA Finals.
No, the team that went to the NBA Finals, I did not like Dikembe. So my favorite team was the one that had Theo on it. That's the one that reminds me of.
I always felt bad for Theo.
Yeah, he got hurt and he got traded.
Yeah. But they looked ahead and said, we got to find a way to beat Shaq.
So they had George
Finals.
Lynch and Tyrone Hill. Neither of them were at OG Anunoby level.
No. They had Eric Snow.
They had Eric Snow, who was, a good point guard, but
he's like the Deuce McBride.
AI was the Brunson.
Yeah, AI and Brunson's the only similarity I see. Nothing else.
The team itself, the way they played.
Thibodeau and Larry Brown.
Clockwork. They played like clockwork.
Look, I said to you before, if this Knicks team was here in Philadelphia, we would love them. We would love the brand of basketball.
You just have a childish anti-New York thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to root for Knicks fans.
That makes you look childish and inferior. I choose not to look at it that way. I put us on the same level as New York, so therefore I don't get jealous of New York.
Then how come it would bother you if the Cowboys won the Super Bowl?
Because the Cowboys are different. That's a snarky America's team fiction. Like that was a fiction that they were America's team. I don't like fiction.
Well, maybe I'm childish, but you know who else is? Ray Dunn. Because you feel exactly the same way, don't you, Ray?
Absolutely. Ray is childish. He's 25.
Ray's not a child. Look at him.
He's 25 years old. He doesn't have the old man wisdom that I have. I got old man wisdom. I don't let little petty things like, well, because they're from New York, I hate them.
Yes.
I look at the team. I go, I like that team. That team plays hard.
From when I was a little kid, I remember my grandma constantly saying, we hate New York teams. We hate New York teams.
Okay, and then you grew up.
Yeah, and I still hate him.
And grandmom is no longer with little Billy. Now you're an adult.
Hate him. I'm not going to root for the Knicks fans outside of Madison Square Garden.
You're not rooting for the Knicks fans.
Cheering.
You're admiring a team. You're not even rooting for them. You're watching it and you're admiring it. That's what I do. I don't root for them.
You want to see them win.
I want to see them beat Indiana, yes, because they're a better team than Indiana. I want the better team, the team that's coached better, the team that meshes better. I want them to play in the finals where they're going to get smoked.
See, for me, it's always about fan bases.
So you would be happier if Indiana played Oklahoma City. You have no reason to watch that series. None whatsoever.
Well, I want to see OKC win it. Anyway. So I don't care if they play the Knicks.
OKC win it.
I like
what is
SGA.
Your connection with OKC?
I want to see SGA win the title. All right. I like it.
But you don't want to see Brunson win a title.
No, because he got a Knicks jersey on.
He's with the Villanova.
I don't care about Oklahoma. Those Oklahoma fans, go ahead.
You don't make any sense at all.
I make perfect sense here. I think that most people would agree with me. I would think that you are in the farthest minority here.
Petty and childish with this New York thing. I choose not to feel inferior to New York. Therefore, I don't get involved in this petty hatred.
You don't want to feel inferior, but you want them to win the title.
You are indicating that you're jealous of New York in some form because you hate them. Don't be jealous. Just say, you know what? I'm better than New York anyway. What do I care about New York and their fans? Have that attitude.
How could I sit here as a Sixers fan and say that we're better than New York?
Because the Sixers are rock bottom right now. They're not playing. If they were playing, you know who I'd be rooting for? The frickin' Sixers. But they're not playing.
I'm not so sure.
You're an idiot. It's 1 o'clock. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. Let's get Ted and Scott. Where are we going?
I think you're going Scott.
Scott Newtown. Scott's got some tush push feelings. Go ahead, Scott.
Hey, Mike, what's going on?
How you doing,
so doing well. So I'm going to preface what I'm about to say. I totally agree with you with the tush push. Optically, it looks bad. It's not a football play, and it just doesn't. It's not appealing to the eye. But so basically, my question to you though is, so in 2016, the chop block was banned in the NFL. Isn't the tush push a form of a chop block in a sense?
No, not at all. The chop block is unsuspecting chop at some guy's knees. The other one is just power versus power, where you get as low as possible. Hello? Is he not there? Oh, I know there's no comparison at all to the two. What, Scott? Are you still there?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm still
okay.
here.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's similar at all.
To win the tush push though, it's the lower man, and it's taught you're supposed to get as low as possible.
Yeah, but so's the defense supposed to get low. So there's not chop blocks involved.
No, but the difference with the chop block is it requires two offensive players. One's hitting you high, and the other one comes in low while you're engaged with another player. Like, you could block a guy low. You just can't do it when he's already engaged with another guy.
All right, so say you had a blitzing. If you had a blitzing linebacker though, and the running back wouldn't be able to chop block him to pass block, right?
They can go low.
Yeah, you can go low.
Yeah, they can go low as long as he's not engaged.
Chop block just involves an engagement.
Bill, that might be a high school rule actually that I'm thinking of. You're not allowed to go.
Yeah, it probably is a high school rule. Yeah, you're allowed. The chop block is the unsuspecting chop at the knees, and be unsuspecting you're engaged with somebody else.
Gotcha. So, but in 2005 though, prior to 2005, the NFL had a rule that you weren't allowed to push or pull a ball carrier.
Correct.
Then
and that's what I wanted to. That's what I wanted to go back to.
Yeah, and then 2005 they lifted the rule where you are allowed to push the ball carrier, but you're not allowed to pull the ball carrier.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, I agree with you, Mike. Overall, optically, it doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I hear you, man. All right, you a WWE fan, or would you like who did that '90s song?
I'm like a 2010 WWE fan.
All right, you're
so
2010. Okay, I can tailor that to you. A 2010 WWE fan. All right, in 2010, The Undertaker took on a guy with kind of blonde, goldy locks who was a very popular wrestler.
Edge?
That's incorrect. It was Shawn Michaels. The Edge was in 2008.
He's not blonde.
Oh, Shawn Michaels isn't?
It's like
he's kind of sandy blonde. He's kind of sandy blonde, Shawn Michaels.
Sweet chin music.
Come on.
Oh, you want me to give you another one?
Please,
in 2011, this upset winner beat John Cena. Very popular guy who's still kind of popular, but not currently wrestling.
For which belt?
I don't know. It just says WrestleMania 2011.
If it was, you're saying you're giving a main event,
it's
right?
It's WrestleMania main eventer.
So it had to be for the title.
For the title.
The main one.
For the WWE Championship 2011.
John Cena lost to this guy.
Triple H.
No, incorrect. Oh, sorry, Scott, you're out. Bill, you want to steal?
I don't think I remember.
John Cena lost 2 straight. He lost 1 in 2012 to The Rock, and the year before he lost to the
I don't know.
Miz.
Oh, Miz.
The Miz was the winner.
I stopped watching wrestling around that time. I haven't watched since high school.
Well, you know of the Miz, though, right?
Well, I know him because he was on The Real World, right? Wasn't that his thing? Wasn't the Miz on The Real World?
I don't do soap operas.
That was reality TV.
All right, Ray. Easy general knowledge for you, Ray. Oh my God. Name a city that starts with M, which has an urban population greater than 10 million.
M with an urban population greater than 10 million.
There are 4 of them.
Minneapolis.
No, that's incorrect.
All right.
It would Minneapolis. What would Minneapolis' population be? Like 2 million?
That's got to be a pretty big city.
I don't
right?
think it would be that big.
They got how many sports teams?
These are all foreign cities. You want to take another chance?
Oh, foreign cities. Okay.
No. It just said name a city. Yeah, and Minneapolis doesn't have more than 10 million, but these cities do. They would just happen to all be foreign.
Got it.
Give me 2 of them, and I'll give you another reprieve. I'll give you a reprieve on this. If you give me 2 of those international countries who have an urban population, a city that starts with more than 10 million.
Mumbai?
Mumbai is correct. That's one of them. That's the hardest one.
Yeah, that was good, Ray.
Mexico City.
Correct. Ray cashes in. Who were the other 2, Bill?
No idea.
Moscow and Manila.
I've been to Manila.
The
too.
Thriller in Manila.
That is a very crowded city.
Yes, it is.
Like extremely.
What's the
crowded.
population of Minneapolis, Bill?
500,000.
Oh, see,
Is that it?
500,000.
What do you think the population of Manila is?
Manila, 17,000 million.
Manila and the surrounding cities, 13.5 million.
I was close. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Connor Thomas.
The Sirriani Fanatic, that's the tricky radio announcers go. Ones are wild.
I've never heard that before.
Never heard that? Like you ever see a baseball scoreboard, 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors. Deuces are wild.
Deuces wild.
Never heard that, huh?
I have not. Ray, have you ever heard that? That's a good.
Ray's probably heard it.
Nope.
Deuces wild?
Oh, Deuce is wild. Yeah.
Deuce
One's wild. No.
Oh, I was just.
Deuce is wild.
It was a play on Deuce is wild.
Oh, this is a good one.
Oh, yeah, Deuce is wild. I've heard that one.
You got to give him the chuckle, right? He gets mad when we don't give him
a little bit of a chuckle.
He wants the chuckle.
What's the pitching matchup tonight?
Is it even going to matter?
Yeah, it should matter. Let's see.
For the Fightins?
Yeah, all right, let's look at it. Today is Wednesday. See what the line is anyway, because there's no way that they can win a game, the Rockies. Taijuan Walker, though, against Palmquist, whose ERA is 11.25.
Carson Palmquist, who, if you're not familiar with, you will not get a picture of him on the ESPN website.
He doesn't have a picture.
He's on MLB's website.
Carson Palmquist is a minus. Phillies are minus 250 with Taijuan Walker pitching tonight. That's how bad the Rockies are.
And Palmquist is a lefty, so I guess we'll get the right-handed.
Turner leads off tonight.
And Stock goes to the bench, I guess. And then
not to the bench. Sosa, they got to get him more at-bats.
And Dubs, maybe.
Your boy be in left field.
He may be out
You're
there
all excited.
I still don't know how I feel about this. Like I kind of like that you're getting guys in a rhythm, but I understand he wants to get Sosa reps. But I thought the plan.
What is your beef with Sosa playing part-time and delivering part-time? What's your beef with that?
I don't like that you sit Stott.
Well, in order to play Sosa, you have to sit Stott.
I know, I understand that, but Stott. You and I were firm believers coming into the season that Stott had to be a lot better for this team to succeed, and he has been. And he's coming off a night last night where he goes 3 for 6, and that's like, all right, you're going to sit. And then you look at Max Kepler. He goes 2 for 4 yesterday, and you're thinking, all right, maybe they can get Max Kepler going. It's you're going to sit for Dub.
Well, you love Dub. You want him to get at bats. What?
I know.
That's confused me, man.
But
if it's working to what he does with this platoon, why change it?
Well, 2 nights ago they had a lefty on the mound, right? So 2 nights ago they went with the right-heavy lineup. See, I understand that when you don't see a left-hander for a while, you get one and you want to get these guys reps, but maybe it will be good. Maybe it'll be a nice motivation thing. If you're Bryson Stott, though, or Max Kepler, with how bad the Rockies are, you don't want to sit. I don't want to sit at all. Like, let me play. Let me get my hits. Let me get my average up. Let me get my mojo going. But we'll see. Maybe Dubs goes yard tonight, and I can rub it in your face tomorrow.
Yeah, after all, he is a power hitter. All right,
he's got.
Let's go back. Let's go back to the text board, Ray. What do we have on the text board, and then we'll get back to our phone calls.
We got a long text here about Nick Sirriani.
Love the long text for Sirriani.
Bill is 1,000% on point with Nick. I agree with every point he has and was screaming the same things on why Nick needs to stay. It's not luck. We were able to see the bigger picture. I was actually saying they were going to win the Super Bowl from the 8th game on, and that wasn't luck either. The way they ran through the best teams in the AFC and were the most physical team out in the field were dictating games was glaring. No one had a shot at beating us last year after the bye. Eagles were by far and away the best team in the league. How come all of these offensive coordinators keep shining under Nick and getting their head coaching breaks? The 6 of 7 games was because they had bad coordinators. Once they were gone, they were back to being where they belong. Wanting to fire Nick was a very stupid outlook. I was saying this all last season. Wanting to fire him was very nearsighted, not logical, and too reactive. I'd love to battle you on this.
Yeah, well, it was totally logical for them to rehire him after losing 6 or 7 games where it looked like he lost complete control. And I'm not saying the Eagles got lucky. I'm saying Bill got lucky.
It was not.
Bill got lucky for endorsing a guy who shouldn't have come back.
How can you sit here and say it was illogical and he shouldn't come back knowing what we know now?
Because we didn't know what we knew now. Okay? But anybody could do that. Anybody could fast forward life and come up with the right answer. At the time, losing 6 or 7 games, I thought he was unqualified to be a head coach.
That would have been.
You got lucky because it turned out he wasn't.
It wasn't lucky. What was the texter's name? They give
Unnamed texter. No.
Right, well, a great text. I'm glad I hit send on it. But great text. It wasn't illogical to bring him back for the reasons that I laid out many times with you. when you looked at how that season went, it would have been such an over-the-top reaction to put all of the blame on the head coach down the stretch of that season and not take everything else into account, from the Super Bowl hangover to the lack of personnel on defense to the bad coordinators, losing both of them, offensive and defensive coordinators. There were so many factors at play that led to it. It would have been an overreaction that, we sometimes here in the city overreact, and if we would have fired him, it would have been a massive, massive mistake, and I highly doubt we'd be talking about a Super Bowl championship.
Right, would it have been an overreaction to fire a guy who lost 6 of the last 7?
That just went to the Super Bowl the year before, that had been to the playoffs 4 straight seasons?
I'm asking Ray.
At the time, I didn't believe so.
Cállense, por favor.
At the time, I did not believe so. I think I'm going to be more patient now.
At the time, you didn't believe it. At
He's
the time,
agreeing with
I
you.
didn't believe so. It's exactly the impetus that you get when a guy looks like he's lost control of a team. It didn't matter what he had done before. 6 of 7 is 6 of 7. Now, Bill, you stuck your neck out. You wound up being justified. Congratulations.
Listen, and I've admitted this before. After watching the Tampa Bay Bucks beat them in the wild card round, I did a podcast the next day, and I said, Sirianni can't come back as head coach. That was my knee-jerk reaction. The day after I did that podcast, I was back on the air because it was a daily podcast, and I said, you know what? I've had time to think about this. I've had time to cool down. It would be an overreaction. We would allow our feelings to get in the way, and we would make a mistake if we fired him based off of just what we watched over the last 7 games.
Did you get paid for that podcast?
I thought you were making a joke about whether Sirianni
I'm just curious. Were you paid for that podcast, or was it just breath?
Oh, man, I'll take the 5th.
Okay, let's go to Chuck in New York. Chuck, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Chuck?
How we doing, Jen?
How are you,
I'm
Chuck?
going to side with Bill on the Sirianni thing. And being in New York right now, even though I'm a diehard Nova fan, watching them last year play the Knicks, watching the Sixers last year versus the Knicks, and like remembering watching Jalen Brunson's conference where he declared he was going for Nova online. Like, I love these players. Watching them last year was tough. I don't really like Josh Hart. He's lost all my love. But
first of all, hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. How could you not like the way Josh Hart plays?
I like the way he plays. I don't like his attitude. And I think that there was that story last year during our playoff series on ESPN that was just like, he and Dante got in such a bad fight that Dante threw a weight at him. And when Jay heard what he said, he was like, nah, he kind of should have thrown a weight at you. And he's just, I can't use it.
All right, okay.
But I will say this. Watching them now with no skin in the game, living in New York, it's good for basketball. I'd love for them to go to the finals, and I'd love for them to lose to the Wolves.
Well, they're not going to the Wolves. You think the Timberwolves are going to win that series?
I don't know. I like Ant-Man a lot.
I am sure you like Ant-Man, but they're not the squad Oklahoma City is, man.
No, I agree. But if I had my druthers, it would be Wolves, Knicks, Wolves win.
Oh, God, that would be a boring series.
And then,
Wolves, Knicks. Go ahead.
Who do you think wins that?
Keep going.
Who do you think wins Wolves, Knicks?
Knicks.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
On the tush push, at this point I don't care, but I will say when Mailata's answers yesterday, as far as that we'll find another play, we'll get that yard, it's 1 yard, made me more of a, you know what, ban it and watch what we do. We'll find something else to do.
Yeah.
But, I
Okay.
guess we didn't get that.
All right, bro.
And then interesting in general knowledge.
Yes.
You had Milan at one point. I was there about a month ago for work.
Uh-huh.
And Portugal, my in-laws moved to Portugal a couple years ago, and I'll be there this summer with my lovely family. So fire away.
All right. Well, this is hits from the 1990s. Who did that 1990s song? So let's go with 1991. Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Nirvana.
There you go. Easy. Look at that, Chuckster. Hold on a second.
Good job, Chuck.
With the easy answer, and the audience is just running away with stuff.
They are. They're crushing Ray.
That's 6 for the audience.
It is 6. Before we get to Ray's question, A couple breaking news items. First, Ian Rappaport reports that the NFL announces the Bills will participate in Hard Knocks during training camp, but the NFC East will be the focus for the in-season Hard Knocks. So we're going to get inside look at the Philadelphia Eagles and the other teams in the NFC East. Pretty awesome.
Wow.
Also being reported, we're all anti-Green Bay because they're the ones that proposed the tush-push ban. It's now being reported that the league asked the Packers to take one for the team and make that proposal. The league pushed them to do it. Goodell hates the tush-push, man.
I agree with Raj.
Couple news items.
My new buddy.
Love this Knocks, though. Hard Knocks going to be awesome.
0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Push on. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. We heard today from the league that the tush push will not be banned. The report coming today that the owners' meetings, they had the vote to ban the tush push, the proposed ban coming from the Packers. It was just reported that apparently the Packers were pushed by the league to go ahead and push that proposal forward. But the ban does not happen as they needed 24 votes to get the ban. They only got 22 votes on that ban. So now the Eagles will be able to run the play again next season. I'm sure we're going to continue to have this conversation for a long time. That conversation bled into the news availabilities of Jaylen Herz, A.J. Brown, Jordan Mailata. Yesterday, Mailata and Brown talked about how they would not be bothered by that ban. They don't have to worry about it now. Brown also saying he's going to be here as long as his head coach is.
I told I literally texted Nick last night. Told him congrats. I told him I'm done when he's done. I don't know how long his extension is, but he was like, of course.
Neither do we. We don't know how long that extension is, nor have we gotten details on it yet. We'll pass them along when we do get them. The Phillies with a win last night. They're back in action tonight at 8:40 with Taiwan Walker on the mound. This update's brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Get a wireless plan. Saves you money and an extra trip. Switch to Straight Talk at your local Walmart while you shop for those little oranges the kids love. It's real unlimited data with real convenience. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for NBA playoff action. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Texting, the easiest and most convenient way to communicate.
Texting, when you want to be heard, but not be heard.
Texting.
The Mike Missanelli Show on a rainy day here. It's going to rain tomorrow as well. We head towards Memorial Day weekend. The weather down the shore, it'll be all right, but not great.
Still, that saltwater air rejuvenates you.
Yeah, sure. Have you noticed that on its promo, I have a problem saying business?
Yes, the one that runs
Have
for...
you noticed the promo that we just ran?
Yes.
I have a problem saying business.
Yeah,
because I for so long I've slurred it to go business that I have actually now a problem pronouncing business.
I did hear it.
I hear it. We should do it over.
You probably should.
It's terrible.
It's embarrassing.
Business. I go business.
It's not that bad, but I know what you're
terrible.
talking about.
I can't. I have cut. That's one word in my vocabulary that I've cut off. That you cut off with.
Sometimes I'll say wit.
You say wit all the time.
Yeah. Ray has cut out frustrated from his vocabulary.
Yeah,
correct. I'm annoyed.
But business apparently is something that I have a problem with. On the show sheet, Ray put it on because there's a big story on T.J. McConnell today.
He put it on for you
in the Inquirer, and so people are chiming in on my personal Twitter, which is Mike Miss 25. Walter McRae, interested in your take on this, Mike Miss 25. There's another guy. Someone Mike Miss 25 thinks is this kind of player is a scrub, right? Ray Dunn.
That was Caruso, to be clear.
Oh, that's Caruso.
It was just a great video of Caruso locking up Ant-Man last night.
It was Caruso with a scrub. Yeah, I don't think he's a scrub. He's okay. I don't think people get carried
Every
away
building
with it.
needs someone to clean the bathrooms,
Yeah,
man.
but the T.J. McConnell thing is really interesting. First of all, it's not like Keith Pompey has a plethora of story ideas if he's covering the Eastern Conference Finals, right? We've already done the Villanova angles ad nauseum, right? So what would be a popular story for him to write? An ex-Sixer who's
And
now in the
relevant.
Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, he's playing tonight.
Yeah. Now, I never thought T.J. McConnell was a scrub. I just thought, well, if you can't make a jump shot, you're kind of limited in your effectiveness, no? Yeah, you can go around there and dance around and be a maniac for like 15 to 20 minutes a game, but you're not going to help your team with a bucket. That's all I'm saying. You got to make a bucket every now and then.
He adds energy off the bench.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He has energy. He's got his place. Well, let's not make him more than what he is.
No, but to Ray's point.
Like the story today was, should they have not given up on T.J. McConnell? How many years have gone by now? Now we're missing T.J. McConnell?
I think we're missing a lot of people now.
Seriously. Now we lament the loss of T.J. McConnell? Come on.
The last line of Keith's article. But you have to wonder if the Sixers regret not re-signing.
Come on, Keith. Come on now.
Ray, you regret it? You
I
wish
don't
they
think
kept
you have
him?
to wonder. They should have kept him.
They would have kept him for all these years. And then people would say, he can't make a jump shot. It would have been so frustrating.
Let me ask you.
What?
Right now, would you rather have Kyle Lowry,
why do you always
Eric Gordon,
take the
or
current
TJ
situation and go back in time with it?
Well, that's the point.
It's the easiest thing
That's
for
the
anybody to do. Well, of course you'd rather have him coming off your bench than some of the mutts you had coming off your bench. But that's not a reason why you had to overpay him to keep him.
But the question Keith puts in here is, do the Sixers regret not resigning him? And I think when you look at the bench pieces you have coming out now playing guard, I'd rather have
They
him.
didn't regret not signing him at the time. It wasn't that big of a loss. Let's go to Steele. On,
If he had a Knicks
Ocean
jersey on,
City.
you'd be a huge fan.
Oh, stop it. Steele, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Oh, man.
What's up, Steele?
Always a pleasure.
Oh, the pleasure's ours, Steele. Especially when you get to your point quickly. Oh, my God.
Okay, Mike. Stop laughing.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's the Phillies' biggest concern?
Their biggest concern right now would be their bullpen.
I disagree.
Okay, who's their biggest concern?
Ray? Bill? Biggest concern.
I would also agree. It's the bullpen.
There's no bigger concern than their bullpen, but I know you're going to where you're going to go with this. You're going to go with the starting pitcher named Aaron Nola.
Well, obviously you got notes, but yes, that's the biggest concern.
Yeah, but they've got other starters that have carried the load, so it's not as glaring a need as the bullpen.
I disagree. He's 1-6. They need a stud right-hander. He's got to get he's got to get with Wheeler and Real Muto and figure this stuff out. That's how he's going to figure it out. And I'll leave you with this. I love the next Mike Miss Open.
Yeah, I don't know if there are any plans for the Mike Miss Open. I think that went away.
Come on, Mike.
Listen. I'm just an employee here. People come to me with stuff. I don't really lobby for anything.
Man.
You want to do the Mike Miss Open? I'm all for it. But this is a management thing.
Wait, there used to be a golf event called the Mike Miss Open?
Yeah, there was, Bill.
Bill, it was huge.
I know, that was actually a joke this time.
He was being sarcastic.
The joke is I don't know anything about Mike's career, but I do know about that.
Hey, Mike,
My wife was there, Mike, remember?
That's right, your wife was
We have
there.
a picture of a
Right.
young Bridget Colorado.
I met Bill's wife before Bill did, actually.
Hey,
I think she kind of liked
what's
me,
your
too.
handicap? Both of you.
She liked him.
I think she kind of liked me. Hey, Steele, you ready for your general knowledge question?
Yeah, let's try.
All right, Steele. Which Olympic sport has China dominated, winning 86% of all gold medals ever awarded?
I would say gymnastics.
That would be a great guess. Or maybe it would be diving. But neither one is correct.
way.
Neither one is correct.
Well, I got to guess.
What?
Ping pong.
Table tennis is
Yes.
correct. Steele. Sorry, buddy. You're
The
out.
only time they lost was to Forrest Gump. Remember? Forrest Gump, great ping pong player.
Yeah. Tom Hanks, brilliant acting.
He was a great actor in that movie. You're the only person who doesn't like Tom Hanks. I have never heard any other person not like Tom Hanks.
I'm acting. See how good I am. 610. I told you a million times. It's not that I don't like him. He has his place in movies. It's just not a high, lofty place.
He 3 years in a row. You say he doesn't have
I just did Forrest Gump. I just acted it. I could do that role.
In 3 years, he did Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, Apollo 13.
He was good in Philadelphia.
All three of those could not have been
13.
more different roles.
Oh, 13, yeah. Forrest Gump, I could have done it.
Please.
I could have done Forrest Gump. I would have won an Academy Award.
You should have. You did do that one movie, you remember?
I've been in a couple movies. Brilliant. I've been brilliant in both of them. 610-622-0975. Tom Hanks. All right, Tom, we're going to shoot this scene where you flip a ping pong paddle. I'm doing good, aren't I?
The people on YouTube are seeing what you're doing. People on the radio have no idea.
Continues on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philadelphia Union Soccer.
Show 97.5, The Fanatic. I don't know if this is true or not. I just read something about who's going to be the commencement speaker at the University of Maryland. Is this true or is this just a fiction? Kermit the Frog. Now, if that is not the ultimate indignity to Mikey Miss, I don't know what is. I haven't gotten a sniff of a commencement speech. I can't even get Harcum, and it's right down the street from where I live. Kermit the Frog at the University of Maryland?
Is this real? I mean,
that's what I just read.
It's in a way to honor Jim Henson, is what they're saying.
Because he's the University of Maryland grad? So Kermit's going to talk about Jim Henson? That's the commencement speech?
I guess.
I thought of you at my brother's graduation.
You did. Who was the commencement speaker?
They didn't have one.
They didn't have one?
Yes, they decided no commencement speaker at the business school graduation greater than Mikey Miss.
I taught at that school. You think they would have made a phone call? I would have gone down there and not charged them.
I got to say, the valedictorian did a tremendous job. The very brief remarks from, I guess it was the president of the school. I don't know. I forget who it was. Very quick-moving ceremony. In there, graduation, out of there. Big fan of the way they did it at St. Joe's.
I would have been quick, Ray. I can't get a sniff.
So I'm reading some of the articles on like why they went Kermit. And one of them saying that perhaps keeping it silly was the point because last spring many schools struggled to keep their commencement speeches from going into controversial territory. So they're thinking that maybe going with Kermit is a way to keep it
controversial territory. I would have told sports stories.
Yeah. So there you go. Anyone out there who wants to avoid controversy, Mikey Miss is the
That's
answer.
right. Mr. Controversy, here I am.
They got winter ceremonies. We could start firing up for some winter ceremonies.
That is a little strange, though.
My phone never rings. Commencement time.
Well,
I can't understand it.
They're going to have like a puppeteer hiding underneeth the thing?
I only would charge $20,000. I mean,
Kermit's a puppet, right?
It's a bargain. Yes, Kermit's a puppet. Kermit the Frog is a puppet. Yeah.
So I'm saying someone's going to have to actually be hiding underneath the lectern.
Exactly. For a long period of time. It could be tough on the back.
Very
whoever that would be. All right. I don't want you to get all gooey about this tush push thing, but if you want to put it into numbers, what percentage of owners actually supported banning the tush push?
Well, it would have been 22 out of 32.
So how many basically supported it? What was the percentage? 30%? Would that be 30% percent?
That's about 30%, right?
30%. So in other words, you only need 30% approval to keep something now. I mean, that just doesn't seem like
69% wanted it gone.
All right, so shouldn't that be telling? Like, shouldn't that figure have won?
But the rules are you need 75%.
I get it, but you're getting all gooey over here. Oh, my God. 70% of the people in the ownership didn't want it. And you're celebrating here?
Yeah, it stayed. I don't care how many didn't. I wouldn't care if it was 23 people voted.
It seems like a flimsy mathematical vote.
Look, how many people get away with crimes because they didn't get 100% of the vote?
Stop it. This is a distinct majority of people who didn't want it.
Listen, now you got a problem with the way the NFL does their rules?
I'm just saying, let's not get all crazy. As Winston Wolfe said in Pulp Fiction. Well, he said something like that.
We got more teams who voted in favor of the Eagles now. So I'm just going to read all of them. I know
You didn't get more people that voted for the Eagles. This is what
I have the names of the teams, I mean.
Okay.
I'm just going to read all of them. I know we know some of these, but Ravens, Patriots, Jets, Lions. But there's also now, according to Mike Florio, the Titans, the Jaguars, and the Browns all were against it. So you throw in the Eagles now, that's 8. We're still waiting on the identity of the other 2. I would not be shocked if the other 2 were the Saints
were against banning
and the Cardinals because of their connections with
banning it.
So
against banning it. Yeah.
The Colts have yet to come up?
Oh, or maybe the Colts. Maybe it's the Colts, the Saints.
Because doesn't Steichen get a lot of credit for this whole thing?
Yeah, you don't trust Jonathan Gannon, so maybe not the Cardinals. Maybe it's the Colts and the Saints are the other 2.
This is an elite group of bottom feeders.
Ravens, Patriots, Jets, Lions, Titans, Jags, Browns.
Yeah, you're right. They're all bottom feeders. Maybe they're thinking that they're going to
Ravens aren't.
spiff that up and make that a weapon.
Ravens and Lions are.
Except for the Ravens.
Okay, so 2 teams aren't, but we got the Patriots, Jets, Jaguars, Browns. We got like the top 10 of the draft.
Well, look,
they don't care. The problem is everyone voted against it because competitively they're bothered by it.
Yeah. And it's the owners that vote, remember.
Right.
I mean, we keep talking about the coaches, and we're giving Dan Campbell credit and all that. It's the owners of the teams.
But the teams that voted against it basically are teams that are like, it's not our window to win right now anyways, so why let the Eagles have their play?
Yeah.
That's what it seems like for those
maybe we can carry
6 or 7 teams.
We carry favor with the Eagles in some form. They can help us out down the road.
But, man, thanks to the Titans, we should take a trip to all these different places that vote for them. Nashville sounds like a great time.
All right, let's go to Tom in Philly. Tom, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Tush push, Tommy.
Yeah, hey guys. Bill, I got to come to your defense here too with the Tush push. I'm pumped for it. I think that this is like kind of an epitome of how it happens in Philly. There was a big machine working against us. We're the little guy in the corner, a little bit of fight. This is a Philly story that we won the Tush push ban because we are the team of underdogs. Like we won one again, guys.
It's the biggest underdog story since Rocky Balboa, Mike.
This is the thing. I don't like putting us ourselves in the underdog box. Let's think like elitists for a change. Let's think that our crap doesn't stink occasionally instead
That's not our identity,
Why not?
though.
Let's flip
That's
our
not our
identity.
identity.
Let's have a little more confidence in our identity.
Our
Crying
identity
out
is
loud.
we will sneak
Roger
up on you and
Goodell
take
is Ivan Drago, and the Tush Push is Rocky Balboa.
We're crying out loud.
Billy,
Oh, there it is, Ray.
That's exactly it. Okay, but I do want to defend Mike too. As I agree with Mike, I am a basketball fan. I am, of course, a Sixers fan because I live in Philadelphia, but I'm a basketball fan. And watching this Knicks team, I'm sorry, it excites me. I love them.
It reminds me so much of 2001. Everybody has their role, and everybody does it.
If you don't feel it in your heart, then you're not a sports fan. You're not a real basketball fan.
There you go,
This is an
Tommy.
exciting
You're a
team to
basketball
watch.
fan. I love it. Bill's not.
Wait, Tommy.
Exactly.
Tommy, it gets you excited watching them play. Does it get you excited watching the Knicks fans spill out of Madison Square Garden, chanting and cheering? It makes me sick to my stomach.
A punk.
about the team.
Oh, those celebrity
about the team.
punks
The team
that
is
are
fun
at
to watch.
courtside. Who cares about them? Who cares about Spike Lee anymore? He's over.
Exactly.
All right. Here's your general knowledge question, brother. 5-letter geography.
Billy, this is Tommy from Eustis, by the way, Billy.
Tommy from Eustis. There he is. Smart.
Hey,
Tom,
buddy.
5
You guys
letters,
are some brain dead callers on this show. I don't know how you take these callers. Some of these guys are brain dead, man.
You set yourself
go on.
up.
Sorry, general knowledge.
5-letter geography. U.S. state that
Can
is.
I do the music one? Mike, can I do the music one? The 90s music?
Sorry, you can't do the music one.
No? Okay, go ahead.
U.S. state closest to Africa, distance-wise. Oh, it should be easy.
That's gotta be Florida.
It's 5-letter geography.
Oh, 5-letter geography.
Wait, what'd you say about brain dead callers?
Tom, you're out. Good Lord.
That was the easiest guarantee in the world. Attack the other callers and you're going to get it wrong.
That was Maine.
Yeah, that one was easy.
Maine. It was an easy question. All right, we got Weave in Philly. Weave, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Weave?
Yo, man, I'm thinking about like some of the comments that Galen's making.
Uh-huh.
And then on the other hand, did you see what AJ was talking about the younger kids about?
What was
you talking about the pornography?
Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but
I didn't hear him say that. What did he say?
He was just talking to the younger kids, saying like, pornography will kind of ruin your brain and
really?
change the way you respect women and things like that.
Oh, okay.
It was AJ Brown's on a great tour right now, from his commencement speeches to what he's saying to kids. I mean, he's impressing
Don't
me.
mention commencement speech.
man, you know me, I agree with you 100%. You know what I mean? I'm from Philly.
I got you, Weave.
But on the other hand, how does that look toward the team? Because I played for Darby, Kyle Wynn. Y'all knew that.
Yeah.
And,
we kicked your ass. My high school, my basketball team kicked Darby Cohen's ass that year. But by the way, but go ahead. Bristol High, baby, kicked your ass that year. My senior year.
Not my year.
All right.
Not my year.
It was a long time ago, but you got what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right.
I do remember Bristol.
Of course you remember it.
But
Of course
that
you
might
do.
Be way back in the.
It was way back. It was way back. That wasn't the 50s. Come on, man.
I know my stats. I know my stats.
50s.
But here we go. Coming into this season, what's your outlook on the Eagles? And I think that New York.
Huh?
I think New York makes some very good trades or whatever.
New York. What are you talking about? The Giants?
I think they might be.
Come on.
You better watch out because I think they're going to be more physical.
Wait, you're getting silly now. You're getting silly.
No, because the Eagles, if you look at the Eagles, their running game is physical, but their wide receivers are not that physical. And the tight end.
You're tripping.
Better solve that problem.
You're tripping. Come on.
I ain't tripping.
If you want to say,
we'll see.
Say Commanders, I got you. Not the Giants. Come on.
We'll see.
All
right. Y'all going to remember this.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the hardest game, I think, is going to be the Giants. And then, Washington, I don't think we're going to have no problems with that.
All right, man. Listen, Weave, I want to give you a general knowledge question.
What?
Songs of the 90s. 1990 song. 9/11 is a joke. Who did it?
Can you give me some hints?
No, man. 9/11 is a joke. It's the name of the song. Who did it? 1990.
Was it a early rock band?
No, man. It was a hip hop band. It was rap. It was a rap band. Public Enemy did 911's a joke. 911 is a joke. I think that. No, not 9/11.
9/11. Yeah.
911.
9/11 hadn't happened yet.
Yeah, 911 is a joke.
All right, hold on real quick. We got all the teams that were on the Eagles side.
All right, go ahead.
And there's some bad news here. Josh Harris, owner of the Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
Voted against the Tush Push. He was for the ban.
That is so typical. That is so typical.
He's for the ban. So here we go. Here are the teams, the 10 teams that we all love now. The Eagles, the Ravens, the Browns, the Lions, the Jaguars, the Dolphins, the Patriots, the Saints, the Jets, and the Titans. Noticeably, no Indianapolis Colts on that list, right?
Oh, Irsay, you.
Wow.
No Arizona Cardinals on that list.
That's not surprising.
Shane Steichen and Jonathan Gannon didn't get the owners, but Kellen Moore, give him credit, got the Saints to vote in the Eagles' favor. But what do you think about that? Josh Harris voted against the Tush Push.
I'm telling you, he's an outsider. That guy is an outsider.
I just want
Boo
to
this
out
man!
Of this building.
Yeah, he's an outsider. In any event, the audience has won today. The winner is Joe Gold from Sicklerville. And here's what Joe wins.
Wait a second.
What?
I believe that was the Joe who told you were yelling at clouds, who told me I was wearing capris.
That's all right. He won.
And we're still getting him tickets.
We
don't hold it against you.
We don't grudge here.
And you got a great prize,
I
Joe.
grudge later. I won't grudge today. But
enjoy yourself down at Maury's Pier.
He tries to call again. In any event, Maury's Pier, same-day ride and water park combo tickets. 2 tickets. And for a limited time only, our Fanatic Deal of the Week. So if you didn't win it today, you can get it online on our website for just $70. You'll enjoy unlimited rides on 3 piers and both water parks for a whole day. So if you bought a family 4-pack of tickets, you're going to save $200 with our Deal of the Week. You get this exclusive offer while supplies last at 975thefanatic.com/details. Now, deals.
Always with the details.
975thefanatic.com/deals. Now, the only thing, tickets must be picked up at the radio station. So promotions are going to email the winners with a prize release form and more info very soon. But that's our deal of the week, and it's a pretty cool deal.
It is. I got to buy it because I'm going to take the kids down there. All right, Mike.
All right, so tonight the Knicks against the Indiana Pacers.
4.5-point favorites, your Knicks.
Knicks at home?
Yep.
I think it's going to be a very close game. I would take the Pacers with the 4.5.
Okay.
This is this is down to the wire. These games down to the wire. I don't think the Knicks win by any comfortable margin at all in any of these games.
And my understanding, Ray, we are carrying that game live on our airwaves tonight.
After you poo-pooed it, now we're carrying it? You want an audience for it now?
What are you talking about? How'd I poo-poo it?
Well, you hate the Knicks.
Oh, I'm going to be tuned in, though.
Oh, you're going to be tuned in to root for the Pacers.
Tyrese Halliburton, man. Favorite player.
You're going to put the radio on as you watch it on TV?
And I'm kidding.
The way you're going to work?
Be my favorite player. I'm going to put the Phillies on TV. and I'll put the Knicks Pacers on the radio.
You actually watch the Phillies tonight against that team? I can't do it. I swear to God, I can't do it. Call me with the highlights. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. We had a lot of fun on General Knowledge Wednesday. Have a great rest of the night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.